little chillier in Pullman than it was a day ago, but Washington State off to an 8-1 start and continuing this non-conference series against Seattle U today at Bailey Brayton Field. Welcome you down to the Diamond, and going to be a nice Saturday for baseball in the Pac-12 as Washington State last night, spurred by some great pitching, had some offense to add to it as the Cougars in the second inning. Zane Mills able to toss one of his 7 strikeouts after Colin Montez delivered the opening run of the ball game. Then Kyle Manzardo, opposite field home run for his 5th of the season. It's also a 26-game hitting streak for the Cougar first baseman. He's 2 away from tying the program record. In the 6th, Zane Mills had settled in after Seattle U's only run in the 3rd, 13 straight Red Hawks that he sent down on the afternoon. And the Cougars broke it open in the 8th as Jack Smith backing up those 8 innings from his starting pitcher with an RBI single into right. Errant throw scored another for the Cougars. They'd add one more to get their 6-1 final in Game 1 of the series. It's been powered by the top of the order. Washington State's leading 10 home runs on the season, powering a team that leads the pack with 12 homers here in 2021. And on Seattle U's side, it'll be interesting to watch the freshman starting pitcher Nestor Herman, 2-0 record, wins already on the road at Portland and Oregon, wants to pick up another against the Pac-12 foe today. Cougs and Redhawks coming up here on Pac-12 Plus.
Into right field. Gonna score Peterson. Puts the Cougars back in front. And that's strikeout number 7 for Zane Mills. (6-1) Cougars get it done in Pullman tonight. 56 degrees yesterday at first pitch. Will be low 40s on this Saturday. And it starts off with a fastball a little outside to Rourke. Rourke came into the series hitting above 400 for the Redhawks. Was held pretty quiet a night ago in night 1 of the series. Gavin struck out a couple times, lined into a double play. It was some tough luck in the 8th, hit it right at Kyle Manzardo. That was probably his most well-struck of the evening, but he'll get off the schneid with a base knock to start off Game 2 of this set.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting, sees a couple pitches, so the rest of the lineup can get a peek at Brandon White, but then with the 1-1 count, put the ball in play, let your speed do the work. Even if Preston Clifford gets to that, I think he's Rourke's safe at first with the speed, leadoff man. But leadoff man is on for the Redhawks. Good start.
So Rourke aboard. Connor O'Brien now the shortstop. We'll see White right into the stretch right away here on Saturday. His battery mate Jake Meyer received the first pitch this at-bat. We'll see if the Redhawks get active on the base paths. We saw that early in the ballgame yesterday, Bobby, and Seattle U able to keep it really close in those first few innings.
Yeah, that led to that early run. Is steal second, be in scoring position, put pressure on the defense, open up a hole, see who's covering. But leadoff man's on, so a lot of options.
Rourke would be that guy. He has 4 steals this season, and the Cougars check on him. 4 steals hasn't yet been caught in this young 2021 campaign. O'Brien in Game 1, he delivered a single in the 3rd and was that lone run to come around to score for Seattle U last night. Another check on first. White had him leaning, and close play at first, but Rourke just able to get back. Nice move by Brandon White to almost catch Rourke over at first. Definitely a lot of focus on him after the leadoff single this afternoon. This is spiked on Meyer, and Rourke will move up to second by way of the wild pitch. Just to start if you want if you're Seattle U, and now Brandon White, Bobby all of a sudden in some hot water right away.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to like he's trying to get a feel out there. Maybe the cold weather. Maybe he's not totally loose. We saw he was a little bit maybe a little bit tardy and took a couple extra throws in the bullpen before coming down. But looks like Brandon's still struggling to find it here.
He's checking back and gets another one on the lower portion of the zone to O'Brien. I went and watched just a bit of his bullpen before the ball game with the scouts, and he was down a lot. He's having a little trouble keeping it off the turf, and we'll see if that plays out in the opening innings for the big right-hander. There's another one blocked by Meyer. Some by design, it's just small adjustments. I mean, he wants to be down in the zone, just not quite that far down.
Right, it's the little tweak, and we've seen the first couple of weeks that how well he's pitched. So probably just a little mechanical thing, trying to get loose.
Does put a fastball past O'Brien. We'll have a payoff pitch in this opening inning.
And we're already seeing a ton of movement, so he's trying to get in there, getting low and inside to this right-handed hitter, trying to find a location, and but a nice couple pitches.
Crowd comes alive looking for a first strikeout. Instead, it's a walk. And a great start for the Red Hawks. Rourke and O'Brien aboard. That'll bring up the heart of the order. Justin Mazzone, the designated hitter, was a catcher a night ago.
A quick number change. We're number 49 today. We're number 5 yesterday. But Seattle U and looks like in their alternate black uniforms, so number change.
Good catch.
Yeah, you can see Brandon up there. Yeah, he's blowing on his hand. It's a little chilly out there. It's like the breeze has picked up. We see the American flag in right field blowing pretty steady out to right field. But stretching, maybe the sleeves a little tight, trying to find it right now.
Fly ball down the left field line. Has a chance to be fair. Good run down by Vandenbrake to get to it. And a nice throw back in to hold the runners.
Yeah, very nice play. Aggressive swing by Seattle U and Mazzone, helping Brandon White out a little bit, who just struggling to find the command. But nice play by Vandenbrake in left field, running into the wind. So you're trying to track it down. You're getting close to the foul line. What do we need to do here? And then does the wind push the ball at all? But nice play to get the first out of the inning by Vandenbrake in left field.
Left-handed batters like Julian Kodama here will be licking their lips today. Wind blowing out pretty heavily to right field. In the last case, it probably helped Justin Vandenbrake track down the fly ball along the foul line. A little different action than what we saw a night ago. White with a couple on. Here's his 0-1. Just missed. The free pass here in the inning to Connor O'Brien, the 8th walk this year allowed by Brandon White. That's maybe the one thing, if you're going to be nitpicky on the start of the season for Brandon White, which has been a good one, is a little too many free passes. The 14 strikeouts and 8 walks.
Yeah, and following his first couple starts on the road at UC Davis and Dixie State, there was a couple of early inning scrambles, rallies by the visitor, I guess by the home teams, by Brandon White in the early innings. So it looks like he's still struggling to try to get a good start, come out of the bullpen ready to go, and Seattle U with a big opportunity.
Kodama fouls this one off. It'll stay the ball in 2 strikes.
Yes, we can see the velocity is here for Brandon today, just trying to find the command, because everything, all these swings have been late.
It's a little reminiscent of the start yesterday for Zane Mills, and we know how that went when he got into the middle innings, really was clicking, but had a couple runners against him with 2 outs in the first. This is a little tougher for Brandon White. The runners got aboard with nobody out. And Kodama at the plate's had a good season so far. 10 hits and 30 at-bats. Has driven in 5. trying to come up with the second Red Hawk hit of the inning. Fouls it back again. He's fought off a couple two-strike pitches to keep this at-bat alive, and we've got pitch number 7 coming up. We mentioned the average was down for the Red Hawks coming into the series. It was a $198. 7 hits yesterday for Seattle U. Don't want to leave meat on the bone here in the first. White took the long look at second, and another two-strike pitch fouled off by Kodama.
Yeah, a couple of good at-bats here by the Red Hawks, in the first inning. So maybe, of course, they would love a run. Of course, they would love a crooked number, but you're going to get the pitch count up here, and a lot of the first 4 hitters have seen a lot of pitches from Brandon Wright already.
This is number 19. And again fouled off. That pays dividends for the rest of the card your first time through. The more pitches you can get early, obviously those guys down the lineup card are getting some extra looks at the right-hander, which very beneficial when you're facing a guy with good stuff like White. See if he can finally put it away here to Julian Kodama. Turned but didn't have anyone covering second. Feel the high-pressure opening inning on the right-hander. Important two-strike pitch once again. This time a double play ball. Flipped on from Clifford to short. There won't be the back end of the replay as Colden holds on. But a good out number 2 after a long at-bat. Now just has to get out of runners in the corner spot, Brandon White.
Yeah, nice execution by Brandon White to get the ground ball there. Maybe just a little too slow to turn the double play. Clifford was working the runner at second base to keep him close, so he was having to play deep. But nice job by Brandon White.
And now could back out of this in a 2-out spot. Would have to do just what Zane Mills did a night ago in the first inning. Austin Lively, the second baseman, trying to cash in for the Red Hawks.
And we have another number change, just making sure you're good with that. The road alternates, maybe somebody left them, and maybe somebody left them over in Bellevue, didn't make the trip. But black alternates look pretty sharp, though.
Lively's going to wear 44 instead of his usual 16. Been there on a couple trips, Bobby, with, not in the case of Lively, he's not a young player, but I've been on some trips for guys that have forgotten uniforms the first time.
I'm sure maybe the location changed, switching the series.
Yep.
And, oh, yeah, we're jumping on the bus tomorrow.
Changes everything up. After getting ahead in the count, Lively slaps one foul down the left field line. Mentioned it yesterday, nice open for the Back to Omaha project. That's what they call the baseball complex down the left field line. A win in its inaugural voyage. White's had to throw a lot of pitches here in the first. His 24th runs the count to 3-1 to Austin Lively. Just needs the one out to get it to the powerful front four of the Cougar lineup. But in danger of having the bases loaded. Runner off at first. We'll see a payoff instead. A little hit and run opportunity there, Bobby, as Seattle U was able to roll the dice, saying they knew White would be over the plate.
Yeah, good runner in motion, and Cougars did a good job of staying at home on a 3-2 pitch. Hold your ground. Don't give up any open holes. Good challenge by Brandon White, and good challenge by Lively.
Big at-bat for Lively, who was 0 for 3 yesterday, and he struck out. White got him at the knees. Lively couldn't commit, and that gets the Cougars out of the first inning. Not without some drama, but Washington State keeps it scoreless. Cougars and Red Hawks as we head to the bottom of the first inning. See the batting order here for Washington State. We covered the leadoff 4 for the Cougars, Colton, Manzardo, Peterson, and Montez. And it delivered yesterday, Bobby, but Brian Green did say in the postgame that he thought there was still a bit left to be desired on the offensive side of things. Ever the perfectionist at the plate.
Well, Coach, very offensive-minded head coach Brian Green doesn't like the strikeouts. 10 strikeouts from this Cougar offense, and that's not putting the ball in play. That's not competing. That's how the coaching staff views strikeouts. When you get in the double-digit strikeouts as a team, that's a little much.
Nestor Herman, the freshman, faces a tall order to start it off, but does pass a strike on by Cody Colden. Herman, the 5 strikeouts and a walk and 2 great performances to start his freshman campaign at Portland and at Oregon in a win last week. He's done a good job of filling up the zone so far with just the 1 walk, and you love to see that, Bobby, from a freshman pitcher, just the composure to be able to be around the plate, and hasn't been fazed by the first few weekends on the road.
Yeah, and a big frame here, so already attacking a 0-2 on the Cougar leadoff hitter, and came out ready to go.
Colden, not an easy guy to put down. Asked Dixie State from a week ago. Still on 2 to him after he fouls off that pitch, but comes in hitting .395 with the 15 hits, 14 runs driven in, and already a homer and a triple. That 3-run shot came in the series last weekend against Dixie State. Saw the Cougars off to back-to-back series wins, and 8-1 so far. Strike 3, Colden froze by the fastball, and all strikes to start for Nestor Herman.
Yeah, nice challenge pitch, good tempo. Maybe the tempo already similar to Zane Mills. I know it's just one batter, but filling up the strike zone. A challenge pitch on the outside half, and nice location by the 6'2", 215-pound right-hander out of Seattle, Washington. Nice start for Herman.
Yeah, it can be the key a little bit for a young pitcher. Sometimes come out of high school, you start facing some big bats and try to start overthinking things on the mound. I know pitching coaches, especially guys like Greg Getz, who's been around for a while, they love when a guy can just come in and get right to it. See how he fares against Kyle Manzardo already. 5 pitches, 5 strikes for Herman. Make it 6 for 6 and an 0-2 count coming here to Manzardo.
Yeah, 0-2 counts on the first 2 hitters he faces. I think the in-state product is excited to face another Pac-12 team.
Gets his quick go-ahead and just missed. Doesn't seem too phased so far by Manzardo, who hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday. This is the go-ahead run for the Cougars and a 6-1 victory night 1 of the set. Just missing again, but it's good control right at the lower portion of that zone.
Yeah, pretty 2-strike pitch. Tried to lock up Manzardo in the inner half and just missed low.
See where he goes, 2-2. Just bounced it. And good patience by Manzardo after falling behind 0-2 to fight back into this and now work it full. That's what you'd expect from a veteran bat. Payoff from Herman to Manzardo in the first. Fouled off the mask of the catcher, Heiser, and he'll have a second just to take a breath and rattle things around. You know about that, Bobby. Doesn't feel good.
Well, I didn't play, so you don't get too many foul tips when you're just catching in the bullpen. So, but yeah, nice move by Joseph Pena, taking care of by the umpire behind that plate and going for a little walk and giving a moment to catch his breath.
Here's the payoff. Up the middle, nice hands for Herman, and he'll flip it to first. Doesn't look like a freshman there, fielding his position nicely.
Oh, nice challenge pitched and challenged one of the better hitters in the country with 2 strikes. Delivered a nice pitch on the ground and got Manzardo to roll over it and took it himself.
So 2 up, 2 down. Boy, Nestor Herman would love a 1-2-3 start against this tough top of the order for Washington State. This time Tristan Peterson, the transfer in and past All-American at New Mexico State. Seattle U familiar with him. Nestor Herman, though, first time facing the Cougar DH.
Peterson with a couple very nice early at-bats early in the game yesterday. Got the Cougs going with that opposite field double to right field in his first home at-bat at Bailey Brayton Field as a Coug with the double, and later scored on the Montez single.
Here in the 1-1 count, and they hit him. Grazed him just across the belt. So Peterson will get the free pass, and another batter hit by pitch for the Cougs, common theme to start the season. Maybe a chance for just what happened yesterday. 2 outs to get on for Peterson, and Colin Montez would like to find a way to get him home.
You mentioned the hit by pitch. We thought we had number 19 of the year for the team last year, and Cody Colton lead off the game, but it was called a strike in that rule. But that was number 19. Cougs came into the weekend 6 in the NCAA.
Diving try through the right side, but it's a base knock for Montez. There goes Peterson for third, and the throw's errant. Up past the Cougar dugout. Coming home to score is Peterson. Montez around second, and he's gunned down. Took it too far around second base, but the run will be plated for Washington State. Single, then an error, and the Cougars out to a 1-0 lead as we head to the second on Pac-12+. 1-0 Washington State. Benefactors of an error against Seattle U was a single for Colin Montez. Tristan Peterson came around to score on a throw that went up the line on the third base side, and then Montez was tossed out at second. So that's how we head to inning number 2. Cougars working with an early lead, and we'll see Matt Boysenalt, Drake Meningo, and Grant Heiser for the Red Hawks here in the second. Brandon White would like to settle in this second inning. Cougar right-hander took 26 pitches to get through the first. His first delivery to Boysenalt off speed and missed for strike 1. Boysenalt was thinking fastball to start the at-bat. This is much more like it for Brandon White. Starts 0-2 to Matt Boysenalt.
Yeah, just 2 pitches into the second inning, and it sounds different, it looks different, and the body language of Brandon White is different.
Look out in the Seattle U dugout, but it's bouncing off that protective covering in front and on to the infield. Still 0-2. 1 hit in the first inning was for the leadoff man, Gavin Rourke. A walk made at first and second, nobody out, but Brandon White backed out of it. Fly outfielder's choice and a strikeout to end the inning. Thought he had strike 3 there, just missed.
Yeah, great 0-2 pitch by the big 6'8" right-hander. Challenge fastball on the outside half, and yeah, he got some juice going today. There was something on that fastball.
Shakes off a couple. Tried to bend it off the outside edge and missed. 2-2. It's turned into a nice afternoon in Pullman after kind of tried to hail, sleet this morning a little bit, but no snow, always appreciated in early March. And so we got a nice day of baseball ahead of us. There's strike 3. Slider catches the corner. Back-to-back punch-outs for Brandon White, and that's how we start the second.
First baseman, number 23, Drake.
Good sign, too, he's confusing batters with these 2-strike pitches. That's not only back-to-back strikeouts, but guys down looking.
Right, another good challenge pitch on the outside half, but I think the 6'8" frame of Brandon, his ball's getting on him a little quicker than it was yesterday for Zane Mills.
Drake Meningo will try now, and he's behind a ball, no balls in the strike. Cougar defense playing everything straight up. Smith, Colden, Clifford, Manzardo left to right on the infield. It's Vanderbreak in left. We saw a nice catch from him in the first inning. Johnny Tomasi in center for his first appearance of the series, and Colin Montez in right. Strike 2.
Doesn't look like a true fastball. Looks like a little cut. It's harder than a slider, but
then he's had those couple that we've seen where it's definitely been a true live fastball.
Right.
1-2. On the ground at Colden. Couple skips for the shortstop. Throw on the money. It's been a nice settle down for Brandon White. First 2 guys got aboard. Now it's 5 straight retired and a chance for a 1-2-3 second.
The catcher, number 7, Grant Heiser.
If you didn't join us yesterday, the series moved to Pullman. Weather a little more damp on the west side of the state, and it was supposed to be played at Bannerwood Park in Bellevue. Nice facility there, but both sides agreed to move it to Pullman. Get all the games in this weekend. Chance for a catch behind the plate for Meyer. Up against the wall, makes the catch. Stayed with it, and it stayed inside the netting. And that's Jake Meyer. We've been talking about his catching so far this year, and we'll have to talk about it when we come back. 1-0 Washington State. Home half of the second coming up. Nice catch by Jake Meyer to end the top half. And Brian Green's been saying his catcher's been playing some nice defense, and that a little bit of the different variety. It wasn't a block at the plate, but staying with it against the netting to make the catch for the final out of the top half.
Yeah, nice play by the junior backstop for the Cougars. Who's seen some good competition from a couple of young catchers that the head coach Brian Green brought in this year. But Jake Meyer with a good first couple weeks and a nice play to end the second.
He stands in the on-deck circle behind Justin Vanderbreak here to start off the Cougars second. Chaotic ending to the first led to Washington State's first run in the ball game. A single for Colin Montez, an error on the throw-in from right field to third base, scored Peterson. And then Montez was thrown out at second to keep the inning from extending. But we saw the first 7 innings of Game 1, both defenses were dialed in. It's been a couple errors over the last 3 frames, and 2 balls and a strike to Justin Vanderbreak now. No fault to Matt Boysenald, who made a couple really nice throws out of right field yesterday. You can't blame him for being aggressive, trying to get guys on the base paths. Justin Vanderbreak, good hitters count in the second. Started off a little rough yesterday, then evened it out. Pair of singles and scored a run in the 2-run 8th for the Cougars that kind of blew the ball game open. And after having some hard-hit balls that were just tough luck right at guys at Dixie State, a little bit of a slow start to the season, Vanderbreak settling back in at home and hoping to keep it going in Game 2. Payoff pitch from Nestor Herman. Vanderbreak tattoos it to center. This is given a ride. Rourke backpedaling and reminiscent of Kyle Manzardo's opening at bat a day ago. It's a deep fly out for out number 1 in the second.
Yeah, nice swing by Vanderbreak, who ended that Dixie State series with the 2-hit game last Sunday. Had another 2 hits yesterday. Good swing, driven to center, deep to center field. The toughest place to hit a home run in this ballpark, but good swing for Vanderbreak early on. But out number 1 for Herman in Seattle U.
Another example of one of those outs that will go against the average, but that nobody on the Cougar coaching staff is unhappy with. It was a well-hit ball. There's one off the bat of Meyer up the middle. Makes a nice defensive play to cap the top half and a 1-pitch single in the second.
With the veteran Jake Meyer up there, saw the nice swing by Vanderbreak. He gets out for hitting the ball 397 feet away, and Meyer gets up there and lines a single right back up the middle. But pretty swing by Meyer, who's kind of settled in here the first 3 weeks of the season. Had a big 3-run homer at Dixie State last weekend, and a hit last night, and another hit here to keep the Cougs going in the second.
Jack Smith next. I think the Cougars locking into the strike throwing from Nestor Herman, as he was 14 to 22 in strikes to open the ball game before that pitch outside to Smith.
That's a great point, Trevor. When the guy's up there filling up the strike zone, you got to go up there ready to hit, and you know you're going to get something to hit.
Freshman's trying to get dialed in. Does get one past Smith. Herman with down to 6 strikeouts on the season in 11 2/3 innings. Part of a winning effort against the Ducks last weekend as Seattle U flipped the series. Redhawks fell in an 0-2 hole and then split 4 with Oregon, winning the back 2 in that 4-game set. And Oregon yesterday, a victory over 15th-ranked UC Santa Barbara. So the Ducks now 3-2 on their season. Foul ball down into the bullpen for Seattle U for Jack Smith's going to take the count at a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, good day, a good couple days for the Pac-12. Oregon opening with a top 10 win over UC Santa Barbara yesterday, but Arizona's out in Texas at a Texas tournament this weekend, and they've roughed up Oklahoma the first 2 days.
Mm-hmm. There'll be no rest when we hit the conference schedule, and these teams are all itching to get after each other when last year it was all non-conference games for both of these teams, Seattle U and Washington State. You know, it means a little more to these guys this year after having it taken away a season ago. The global pandemic. 2-2 here to Smith with a man on. Still extending the at-bat for the Cougars. Jack Smith from out of Mercer Island. A senior for the Cougars and was a leadoff man we mentioned yesterday, Bobby, previously, and now a guy that Brian Green's expecting to be a turnkey in the bottom of this order.
Yeah, Jack has improved his game the last couple of years. Now a senior, and does a number of things for this Cougar program. Serves on the leadership council, but also contributes on the field. Also hit a big 3-run home run at UC Davis for a win earlier on opening weekend.
Grounds it through the left side for a base knock here. Station to station for the Cougars, and after the fly out on a really well hit ball for Justin Vanderbrake, now a couple singles put together, and Gianni Tomasi will make his home debut in 2021.
Yeah, Gianni making his first start of 2021. Has had a couple pinch hit at bats in the first couple of weekends, but talented left-handed hitter, great speed, one of the better athletes on the Cougar program. So, Coug fans still he's been here a year, but Coug fans still getting to meet a number of these newcomers, even though they've been here. They're only here for 16 games last season, but big spot for Gianni.
We saw him in just 25 at bats a year ago. This season, this is Tomasi's 4th at-bat, and he's looking for his first hit of 2021. Previous junior college all-region player. Part of the great JUCO hauls that Brian Green has brought to Washington State. See a time called, and there's a warning for the pitch clock to Nestor Herman. 20-second pitch clock, bit new in college baseball, and the freshman certainly didn't contend with that in high school. So that's his warning. From here on out, misses the pitch clock, it would be a ball. Fly ball off the bat of Tomasi. This could die in no man's land in left center. Diving catch by Kyle Sherrick. Wow, what a catch. And that saves a run for Seattle U.
Pretty play by the Seattle Redhawk left fielder, and Sherrick, he went a long ways. That ball hung up there. We thought it was maybe a chance for a bloop single and cause all kinds of havoc. But Sherrick came a long ways for that one, and one of those balls that drop into the Bermuda Triangle. But pretty play by Sherrick, who went a long way to get a big second out.
Highlight reel catch for the junior. It's now 2 outs. Preston Clifford at the plate. Mr. Herman feeling a little juice from his defense picking him up. Starts off with strike 1 to Clifford. Clifford singled in his final at-bat last night to carry that momentum into inning number 2. Herman checking a couple times, and the umpires are going to call him for another pitch clock violation, and this time it'll result in a ball.
Did they?
Oh, they might have granted time.
Wow. It's one of those.
I think Preston Clifford on the long looks was feeling a little out of rhythm, and he actually bailed out Herman.
It's one of those plays where it's you foul a shooter with 1 second on the shot clock. Like, just let him throw it up.
And then the breaking ball devastates Clifford to 0-2. Chance for Herman to get out of the second. And now they've got a pitch clock violation, but they want it. No, it needs to be reset, I believe. A little bit of everything here in the second inning is we didn't see anything with the pitch clock in game 1 of the series, but it's been busy here in the bottom of the second.
Looks like Seattle U, the infielders are questioning the clock.
It was a ball.
Read it. Correct. Home plate umpire Joseph Pena issued the ball, held up to 1.
Now 2-2. Yeah, it was hard to tell at first if Tim Vassy over at third was saying that he wanted the clock reset, kind of like the umpire pumping the clock at football. But we're at 2-2, and a big 2-out at bat here for Preston Clifford in the 9 spot. Students harassing Herman. And the pop-up's going to get out of play on the first base side to keep this at-bat going for Clifford.
Is it funny that we're at a baseball game talking about a clock?
It is, right?
Right. Maybe funny's not the right word. But,
and now it depends, I guess, how much of a traditionalist you are.
Right.
We saw a nice pace of play last night, but part of that, too, is just both starters had great games and kind of be how it goes in baseball. I might feel different if I was sitting outside in the low 40s. I might like the clock.
Right.
But the chair leaders, the student section for baseball, they're employing all kinds of normal chants you'd hear in a basketball game, kind of counting down the clock, razzing Herman. Herman's asking for time. And that isn't granted. It is another violation of the pitch clock, so
full count. Okay.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And you can't use that to bail yourself out of the pitch clock, and Herman all of a sudden having a lot of trouble with it.
And it looks like maybe they're having an issue, and Seattle U isn't just getting the pitch in. They're changing up their signs.
Mm-hmm. And ball 4. This will walk the bases loaded for the Cougars. And that's constantly because 2 of those balls, remember, are just on the pitch clock. All of a sudden, base is loaded, and you got Cody Colton coming up. And this gets dangerous real quick.
Yeah, you can tell it was a thing. It was bothered on the pitch count. And, yeah, we only have a few fans in the building, but that also means you can hear them.
Yeah. Getting a talking to from his third baseman, Julian Kodama, and just trying to settle down the freshman right-hander, who now has a bases-loaded spot against Cody Colton.
Yeah, it looked like Seattle U was trying to switch up their pitch sequence behind home plate, but Jake Meyer was at second base for so long that you tend to switch it up. But new catcher back there, a freshman pitcher on the mound for second time on the road against a Pac-12 team, so everything moving a little bit fast for Human.
And he's had a little trouble this season with 2 outs against batters. Foul ball, and he's ahead of Colton 0-2, which would be a great start to this at-bat. But opposition on the young years hitting .360 off of Herman with 2 outs. And Cody Colton, not a bad guy to have at the plate with the bases loaded. Comes in already 15 hits on the season and 14 runs driven in. Trying to expand a Cougar lead in the second. Herman gets the weak grounder third base side that'll stay foul. Now this could be a big confidence-building spot for Nestor Herman after being rattled in the last at-bat with the pitch clock. If you can get out of a bases-loaded jam against one of the premier hitters in the Cougar lineup so far, that's going to be a big jolt of confidence going forward today. Can go anywhere here, 0-2. Went to the breaking ball, and Colton just able to fight it off.
I think we've already seen the result. You talked about it earlier. Head coach Brian Green pointed out the fact that the Cougar offense struck out 10 times last night. Wasn't happy with that. You think that's a sign of competitiveness. You got to find a way to put the ball in play, and we've seen a couple long at-bats by the Cougars again.
So far, Colton's the only strikeout victim. He was down looking to Herman in the first. Knocks it up the middle this time and exacts some revenge. Couple runs going to score for the Cougars on the single from Cody Colton, and it's 3-0 WSU.
Right on cue. There's a competitive bat by the junior shortstop who's seen been around this league for a couple years now. Fouls off a couple 2-strike pitches, muscles one back up the middle, finds a hole, drives in 2 runs. Nice answer for the Cougs.
And we'll see Gray gets out of the dugout for the Red Hawks. Going to talk with his youngster here. That was close for Herman to getting out of the inning. And this is a good piece of hitting by Colton, really. I mean, Herman, it wasn't a mistake pitch with 2 strikes, no balls. He was just trying to keep it low in the zone and something tempting. And Colton just did a nice job of driving it, like you said. But now a chance to try to limit damage here if you're the Red Hawks. It can spiral out of control quickly in this portion of the Cougar order, and Kyle Manzardo is the next up to the plate for the Cougs.
That's also part of Brian Green's message in competing and limiting strikeouts. You put the ball in play, puts pressure on the defense, chance to get on base. You're probably going to get a good pitch to hit because throughout this lineup, who hits after Cody Colton?
Yeah.
An All-American. Who hits after Kyle Manzardo? An All-American and Tristan Peterson. And who hits after him? Colin Monta. You know, you go down the lineup, you're going to get something to hit. So stay ready to hit, compete, and have a plan up there. And it looks like this meeting has maybe turned into, is there a pitch clock discussion? I'm sure. We'd like to know ourselves.
Greg gets it. I'm going to stay out here long enough so I can have my 2 cents. Yeah, this is the Washington State version of Murder's Row. Kyle Manzardo with 2 outs, chance to really put a dent in the scoreboard. Will take on the first pitch outside. Manzardo hit one pretty well last inning in his first at-bat, but it was a nice play by Herman on the mound, spearing it on its way back up the middle. Next to Manzardo. Nice block behind the plate by Heiser. You mentioned it, you could pick your poison here if you did walk Manzardo. Not a friendly bat waiting on deck in Tristan Peterson. Former All-American, Red Hawks know all about him when he was at New Mexico State.
And now that clutch at bat from Cody Colton, even though it's just in the second inning, but extends the inning.
Yeah.
Frustration on the mound a little bit. See if he can Herman can regroup and and regain that first inning success.
All of a sudden, you're talking about pitch count skyrocketing. There's a strike to get back in. But it was a pretty good 15-pitch first inning for Nestor Herman outside of the run scoring, which was unearned via the error. But now the Cougars all of a sudden with 3 hits and a couple home in inning number 2. 3-1 to Manzardo. And that misses. Bases loaded once again.
Pretty solid at bat by Manzardo, who didn't seem too interested in any of those pitches. So Herman struggling to find it here, big inning, and a pretty big at bat right here against the graduate senior, the grad transfer from Mexico State, Tristan Peterson.
In his All-American season at New Mexico State, hit 20 homers and drove in 90 runs. With the bags packed here, fouls the first off from Herman. We mentioned that we thought the fans of the Cougars were going to like this guy. There's a way to become really likable on the first weekend set, and that would be to park one here in the second inning. Herman's 0-1. Big part of the success at New Mexico State over the years is Brian Green was there. Came over to the Cougars to join a 29th ranked recruiting class overall and a 5th ranked JUCO class, and of course a grad transfer like him. It was a great offseason for the Cougars, all things considered. He's in a tough spot here, 2-strike hitting for Tristan Peterson. Bases full of Cougars. Just evens things off, the breaking ball drifting off the plate, and a good eye by Peterson.
Yeah, good eye by Peterson, but a pretty pitch by Herman. That's how you want to attack a power hitter, just off the plate. Didn't catch any part of the white at all of home plate, but pretty pitch. Big pitch coming right here. 2s across the board.
Does not want to run full, but does just that. And now do you risk setting up a power hitter with a fastball here, 3-2? Runners are going to get a head start at first and second. And the bullpen is up for the Red Hawks. Trying to scramble here in the second inning, already 3-0 Cougars. Fastball's hammered to right, wind's blowing that way, remember. But it's going to settle shy of the track for Boysenall, who makes the catch. Seattle U gets out of it. Nestor Herman 2 runs across against him on 3 hits, and the Cougars leave the bases loaded. We go to the third, 3-0 Washington State. The wind wasn't enough for Washington State in the second inning. A fly out with the bases loaded got Seattle U out with just the 2 runs across. So we go to the third inning, and Bobby, we were talking in the break, but now the question shifts for the Cougars to how will Brandon White respond after sitting on the bench for a while there in the second. It was a 38-pitch inning for Nestor Herman on the other side. Kyle Sherrick to lead off for the Red Hawks made a phenomenal diving catch an inning ago.
Yeah, a long first inning for Brandon White, who was struggling to find the command. Put up a lot of pitches, but works a quick second. But then he has to sit in kind of a cold, chilly day in Pullman. How does he respond in inning 3?
It was an 11-pitch second inning after 26 in the first for White. And it does look like he's clicking now. He's retired 6 straight batters, trying to make it 7 here with Sherrick and in the driver's seat. Sherrick able to foul it off. It started a single and a walk for Seattle U in the first, and the Red Hawks couldn't cash in. Since then, a pair of strikeouts for White, and he's looked much more comfortable. Runs inside and hits Sherrick. Just missed without location in the 0-2 count, and that turns it over with a base runner for the top of the Red Hawk order.
Yeah, after working primarily on the outside half, the first couple of pitches of that at bat, looks like Brandon White and Jake Meyer, the catcher Jake Meyer, tried to work inside and just a little too far. Kind of getting back to that command issue that Brandon White still working on nailing down.
So Gavin Rourke gets a man on base for this plate appearance. Singled past second base to start the ball game. Runner in motion and a hit and run fouled off. Sherrick has 3 steals on 4 tries this year, and Seattle U trying to get a little motion going on the first pitch, swinging for Rourke.
Yeah, take advantage of that miscue by Brandon White. Puts the leadoff hitter on for the top of the lineup. Speed on the bases, speed at home plate from Rourke. Aggressive play by the Redhawks.
And they've shown that so far today. On the base paths, that was a nice pitch for White, but evens it up at a ball and a strike. Similar to yesterday, the problem early on for the Redhawks, 0 for 3 with runners on base today. Can only string together singles on the 7 hits a night ago. In fact, when you go into some of those numbers yesterday with runners on, the Redhawks were just 2 for 9. And struggled in the leadoff spot as well. Runner takes off again. This is low. Throws off line and a stolen base for Sherrick, his 4th of the year.
Yeah, tough pitch by Jake Meyer for him to handle there. A slow breaking pitch down in the zone, and a big guy like Jake Meyer takes a lot to go down and get it and then get rid of it quickly as Sherrick's stealing second base for the second time this series.
Now a 2-1 with nobody out. Bunt shown for the Redhawks, Rourke, and he's trying to bunt for a hit when he does that. He's got good speed. They're just enough to throw White off and get into a great hitter's count in this spot. Owns the only Redhawk hit so far. Throw back to second. This is wide. Goes past Colden into center field and able to move up to third is Sherrick. Now a throwing error against White. And the Redhawks, just like that, have a runner 90 feet away from home.
Yeah, one of those things we were talking about yesterday when that ball and dirt behind Jake Meyer gets away in a strike 3, and it's part of your team defense. Not a lot of reps there for Brandon White and pickoff plays, and a little sloppy there. Goes wide, and Redhawks have a man on third.
Rourke hits it into left. Chance to tag up for Sherrick. He'll do so. Throw coming in from Vandenbrink. Little up the line, and a sac fly for Gavin Rourke. Gets the Redhawks on the board.
Nice piece of hitting by Rourke, driving a pitch from Brandon White from the outside half. That's where Brandon's been working most of these first couple innings. Outside half, Rourke goes the other way, drives it to left, and the speed of Sherrick strikes again. Scores easily from third.
So now the bag's wiped clean for Brandon White, and it's just about getting back to business. Make sure this is just a 1-run inning. Connor O'Brien, who walked in his first plate appearance, will start ahead. Redhawks able to do all that here in the inning on a hit-by-pitch, stolen base, error, and sac fly. This could become a big bounce-back inning for Seattle U after the Cougars plated 2 in the second and hopped out to a 3-0 lead. It almost feels now like maybe Brandon White's just overthrowing a little bit.
Right, but we've seen him now for a couple of years, and you can hear the field mic picking up grunting. Maybe that's something new. I didn't remember that from Brandon White the last couple of years.
Well, probably a grunt behind that fastball there as it's a 2-2. Could just be that our mic is so good this year.
Ever since you arrived.
Looking for strikeout number 3. Fly ball to center instead. This should be plenty playable for Tomasi. And 2 gone for the Redhawks on the flyout.
No, it's minor, but a nice bounce back at bat by Brandon White. Just kind of a lot of stuff was happening those last 2 at bats, but get ahead of the hitters, work down in the zone, and get a easy fly out to center.
Yeah, I think really at that point you're looking at this as a 2-out inning, nobody on base, just try to wipe it clean and keep it at 1 run and take your lumps and move on. Justin Mazzone slaps it to right field. Nice piece of hitting. Up against the wall. Extra bases for Mazzone. And he's up to second standing up. First extra base hit of the series for the Redhawks. And a 2-out man in scoring position now for Seattle U. Justin Mazzone wasting no time hopping on that first pitch from Brandon White. For White, that's the first extra base hit that he's allowed this season as well. Coming in a good spot with 2 outs for the Redhawks, and Julian Kodama coming to the plate. The cleanup man grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up. Wants to get the Redhawks within 1. And takes ball 1. Seattle U scrambled the troops in the second inning where the Cougars left the bases loaded, and they do still have an arm ready up in the pen. Here's a drive to right center. That should play to run for the Redhawks. Fighting back with some 2-out hitting. And around to scores Mazzone on the Kodama single. Nice 2-out work, and that's where the extra base hits can start to pay off for Seattle U.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting by the Redhawks here with 2 outs to deliver another run and get some take the energy right back.
That's a big answer inning after the Cougars jumped to the 3-0 lead. And Austin Lively would like to keep it going with 2 outs. Lively fouls off the first offering. Redhawks now 4-4 on the season. They won a game against Portland, couple against, or I should say 2 against Portland, 2 against Oregon. They made their first trip to the state of Washington, not for a home series, but on the road in Pullman. 0-1 to Lively. For the Redhawks now, that sets off a long stretch of road games for them. That was supposed to be the Cougars' story to start the season, but now it's Seattle U to play a bit of road warrior. Now, granted, next week they're at Husky Ballpark, so a short drive to the west, across the floating bridge over to Husky Ballpark to get that done on Montlake. But Julian Kodama on base again for Seattle U with that RBI. He now has a 12-game on-base streak for the Redhawks, and a big one in the third to draw Seattle U within a run. Lively gets ahead. Lively's one of the 2 strikeout victims for Brandon White so far. Was down looking to end the first. Wants a comeback at bat in the third. Ground ball, just foul. It's along the first base line, and we'll do it again. This time 2-2.
Yeah, I think a job well done by the Redhawks here. You answer a couple big innings by the Cougars, get the pitch count up, get some little stirring in the Cougar bullpen, at least some bodies down there moving around, but you've got the pitch count up. And
runners in motion with the pitch in the dirt, and it's an easy second base for Julian Kodama. Credit him with the steal. And yeah, Bobby, you're exactly right. This is having the makings early on of a bullpen game in Game 2.
And we also referenced it a little bit yesterday, the importance of Zane Mills working those quick innings and keeping his pitch count low, working 8 innings to keep the Cougar bullpen fresh. And we saw Michael Newstrom just work the 9th, and he throws every day, so that's fine. So the Cougar bullpen untouched.
Payoff to Lively. We'll have another one. Good work, who I believe is Donnie Harrell down in the third base coaching box, ducking out of the way of that. .23 pitch inning here for White. He's already up to 60 on the day. Payoff to Lively at short. Colton will need a nice throw to end the inning for the Cougs. Lively tries a dive to first, but the throw still beats him. And Washington State, a couple runs surrendered on some 2-out hitting, a double for Justin Mazzone, an RBI single for Julian Kodama. That makes it a 3-2 ball game. Cougs lead. We're back after this. New pitcher for the Red Hawks. Let's take a look there at the Miller Indoor Baseball Training Facility. That was the crown jewel until the Back to Omaha complex was completed in January. And see Riley Sinclair warming up for the Red Hawks right now. 2 innings and done for Nestor Herman. Ends up surrendering 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which came earned. Take a look at the walks and strikeouts. It was 1 strikeout, 1 walk for Herman. Had a taxing day, 53 pitches. 31 for strikes, his shortest outing of the season. So Riley Sinclair takes over. The freshman giving way to another freshman, 6'4" right-hander. He starts calling Montez off with strike 1. Colin Montez takes a swing at the second into the left center field gap. Another nice play over to his left for Kyle Sherrick. Bit less exciting than his diving catch in the second, but out number 1 nonetheless, and a good start out of the bullpen for Riley Sinclair. So bullpen game now for the Red Hawks. Cougars' Brandon White got out of the top half of the inning after a run scored on an error and another on an RBI single with 2 outs. Ball 1 to Vanderbrake. I would be surprised if White is done going into the Cougar 4th. He settled back down, but there'll definitely be some bodies stirring. It is up over 60 pitches for Brandon White, but he's got more length on his game than that. Vanderbrake in this ball game, a fly out after a 2-hit performance last night and a 2-hit performance to cap the series at Dixie State. Wants to turn it around here in game 2. Hits it left side. Kodama dive, doesn't have it. O'Brien does. His throw to first just late. Vanderbrake able to beat it out for the infield single. So we're talking about, Bobby, put the ball in play, good things can happen, and Justin Vanderbrake shows us just that here in the 3rd.
Yeah, nice at bat by Vandy, who's kind of coming on these last 3 or 4 games, but one of the better athletes on the Cougar team. Has led the team with 4 stolen bases in a shortened season last year, but nice job with 1 out to get things going, get a base runner for the Cougs.
Bringing that average back around where we saw it a year ago when he hit .333 in 16 games. We'll see if he gets a chance to try to swipe a bag in the 3rd. First pitch to Meyer misses. That's something you keep an eye on with freshmen on the mounds. How well will they be aware of the base runners? And Vanderbrake 1 steal this season so far. That's in his only attempt. we will see Sinclair take a look over at Vanderbrake. Meyer's opportunity to cash in for the Cougars. Had a 2-run single in the 9th inning back in the season opening win against Bakersfield a year ago. He's played some nice defense and has come around with the bat this season. He drove in a career best 3 runs in this year's opening win against UC Davis. So he's had a couple of nice season openers.
Yeah, I think this is one of the at-bats that Coach Brian Green and the staff are looking a little bit more to get out of Jake Meyer. These middle-of-the-inning at-bats, he's down the order, a chance to do something, extend an inning, maybe drive in a run.
Takes the strike. But yeah, that's a great point. This is a pivotal at-bat with 1 out in terms of if you're going to do something with this 3rd inning, need to see some production in this spot. And Meyer singled in the 2nd, later came around to score on the 2 RBI single for Cody Colden. And for another multi-hit effort. High tapper at 3rd. Kodama has to go to 2nd, and the throw is not in time. A little bit of acrobatic work by Vanderbrake to stay on the bag as well as he lost his balance.
Yeah, lucky break for the Cougars. The high chopper. Hung in the air for a long time. I didn't think they were going to try it all for Vanderbrake. The better of the athletes against, no offense to Jake Meyer, but I guess so. But he's the catcher, and Vanderbrake runs well. I didn't think he was even that close at second base. Probably should have just gone across and taken the out. You're 2 outs and a guy on second base. But break for the Cougars, and they have Jack Smith, who's been swinging it well.
He had a single last inning as well. Cougars trying to keep the scoring going. 1 in the first, 2 in the 2nd. Smith at short. Nice play by O'Brien over to 2nd for 1, and Lively's relay to Meningos in time. And that, a double play to get Riley Sinclair out of the 3rd. Just like he drew it up, 6-4-3, and it stays a 3-2 Cougar lead. Good day to have a blanket at the ballparks. You see some of the limited fans at Bailey Brayton Field. It's just those that can get on a small pass list for players and coaches able to watch some non-conference Cougar baseball on this Saturday. We're glad the rest of you are with us. 3-2 Cougars into the 4th inning. And Brandon White back up on the bump to face Matt Boysenalt, Drake Meningo, and Grant Heiser in the Seattle U 4th. First pitch swinging, line drive single for Boysenalt. Has a chance to be a double, really. It's going to bounce up against the fence. It's an easy 2 for Boysenalt. Good start to the 4th for Seattle U, and the Red Hawk Bats have come alive. 2 extra base hits in back-to-back innings after none a day ago.
Yeah, Boysenalt all over that one. Jumped all over it. Line drive, rocket into left field, and once they hit the turf, it took off and split the gap between Tomasi and Vanderbrake, and leadoff double for Boysenalt, his 3rd of the season.
So the Red Hawks a great opportunity to at least even the ball game in the 4th with a man in scoring position right away for Drake Meningo. White able to get a strike on past him. Started him with a changeup. Brandon White's pitch count into this inning is at 63. Cougars have some stretching in the bullpen, no active throwing though. And this was going to be a chance for a bounce-back inning for White, and he has to do it with some pressure now. Meningo fouling off the 0-1.
That's 3 healthy hacks against Brendan White here to start the 4th, so I think they're confident here. Almost 3 times around through the lineup. Seen him a couple times, what we were talking about early, get the pitch count up, so everyone's seen multiple looks of Brandon White.
I would imagine aggressiveness was a word tossed around after the game yesterday by Donnie Harrell to his team. Because whether it's been on the base paths or at the plate, there's been an aggressiveness.
Yeah, different looking swings. First couple times through the lineup for the Red Hawks, and it it shows on the scoreboard as well.
Tapper's playable for White. Nice basket handling of it. That's a good put out for Brandon White to keep the runner at second.
Yeah, nice play by the big 6'8" right-hander Brandon White to get off the mound. A ball that confused Boisenhold at second base. For some reason, he didn't move forward. Maybe he thought it was jammed and it was a pop-up, but he stays at second base. Brandon White. There wasn't a play at third base or even back pick him at second base. So break for the Cougs there. 1 out, and runner stays put at second base.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where, I mean, even if it was going to be bang-bang, you're not going to risk it if you're White in that spot of trying to even think about turning and firing to third.
So our only guess is Boisenhold probably saw something. Maybe he thought it was a jam job pop-up, softly hit pop-up, and freeze on the play. So when in doubt, don't just start running around.
Right. Especially when you have the leadoff double. Grant Heiser, who popped up behind the plate, and Jake Meyer made that excellent catch to end the second inning on it. Taking a couple pitches this time after first pitch swinging his last time up. And he knows how important this frame became for the Red Hawks after the leadoff double from Matt Boisenhold. Heiser's up 3-0 in this count. Don't discount the work done by Riley Sinclair a half inning ago when the Cougars had first and second, 1 out. And he got Jack Smith into a double play to end the Cougar third. That could be a big moment in this ballgame for the Red Hawks with a chance to tie in the fourth. Heiser's taken all the way. Heiser from Camas High School. A young backstop for Seattle U. The chance to cash in. 3 hits and 15 at-bats so far this year, and you'll see a payoff pitch coming next. Still the challenge for the Red Hawks, cashing in with runners in scoring position. 1 for 6 so far in the ball game this afternoon. Payoff from White. Gets a strikeout. It's past Meyer. Heiser's taken off. Meyer on a bounce. Manzardo can't field it. He's collided into. Taking off, coming home from third is Boisenhold. He scores. It's a strikeout, and then Heiser to first on the drop third strike. Boisenhold scores on the throw. And there was a collision as well. Now we're checking on both parties to see if they're okay. Manzardo's up and a little slow to get up. Grant Heiser as the game's tied at 3.
Yeah, busy play. Brandon White gets the strikeout. Meyer struggles. It gets back to the backstop, and Meyer tries to get the out at first base, but a long throw, and Manzardo tries to hang in there, but he gets taken out. Nothing dirty about it, just one of those plays where they're both hanging in there trying to make a play, and Seattle U scores.
So an error leads to run number 3 for the Red Hawks, and it's 3-all here at the top of the fourth. Seattle U's brought it back even. And Kyle Sherrick, the 9-hitter, who was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, takes the first pitch hack. This is foul ground. Vanderbrake running it down, makes the catch. Nice range for the Cougar left fielder. And on one pitch, out number 2. Well done by Justin Vanderbrake. We've seen him cover a couple plays, one in fair territory down the left field line, and they're crossing the stripe. So 2 gone. Gavin Rourke, top of the order. A single, a sac fly for Seattle U's first run last inning. Heiser at first after the game's tied on an error. And ball 1 to Gavin Rourke. Good fight by the Red Hawks, though, right back into this ball game, and that's where we stand in the fourth with a good one brewing today on the Palouse. White goes to first. Heiser's back in safely. Next pitch is the 74th for Brandon White. Cougars have a southpaw up in the bullpen. Looks like maybe throwing down there for the Cougars is Ethan Ross. It's a sophomore left-hander, if we can see the number from here. Rourke's 2-0, hammered past the left ear of White into center field. And that's what you'd expect from a good hitter. 2-0, sees his pitch and knocks it right back up the middle.
We've seen a number of good swings. I know it's just inning 4 of game 2 of this series, but Gavin Rourke with a number of good swings so far, finally getting paid for it today. But another hard hit ball off of Brandon White here in the 4th inning for the Red Hawks. And again, with something going, first and second, 2 outs.
And the 2-out hitting's gone well for Seattle U. 3 hits in 6 plate appearances with 2 outs. A chance for a lead with Connor O'Brien at the dish. O'Brien takes on the first offering.
Yeah, been a busy day for Brandon White up there. A big 6'8" right-hander making his first start at home this weekend, and maybe the cold weather couldn't get loose and been battling command most of the afternoon, excuse me.
We see a time called as the umpire is going to warn Brandon White for a pitch clock violation.
And that was one question I had, how this was handled, because Brandon, they was down the 2. He wasn't close to throwing, and he just stepped off.
Which they didn't award earlier to Nestor Herman. And I think we heard that coming out of the Seattle U dugout. Ball's in front of Meyer. Runner going to move from second to third. That's Heiser. Wild pitch. Yeah, it's kind of caught off guard at first. Is kind of really clear in our mic with what I do believe was coming out of the Seattle U dugout, where the coach is saying, hey, same thing called against us, and did end up getting the warning.
Yeah, just one other element to pay attention to. And you're on the mound, the game's speeding up, you're trying to slow it down, you're trying to find your command, you're trying to get out the 2-hitter in the Seattle Redhawks lineup, and there's 2 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm. There's 2-1. In terms of how it works for the umpires' mechanics, in a 4-man crew, it is the third base umpire's job to monitor the clock, and he's looking down the line. There is a pitch clock on the first base side, short of the dugout for the Red Hawks, he's kind of looking straight at, and trying to give it to the umpire who has maybe some of the least taxing work. Blocked by Meyer, but off to second, no problem, is Rourke. He saw that well in the turf.
He might have even been going on the pitch. Trev, I know you're focused on the pitch and talking about the clock, but I think he was going on the pitch.
It's likely a steal for Rourke. And all of a sudden, the Red Hawks 2 in scoring position. And a great count for Connor O'Brien. They'll walk, bases loaded. And it's unraveling on Brandon White in the 4th. By all accounts, Ethan Ross is ready in the Cougar bullpen, and we're going to see Anthony Claggett out of the dugout here.
Yeah, this may be the situation for Ethan. See if he's hot and ready to go to face, bring in the left-hander Ethan Ross to face the left-handed hitting Mazzone for the Red Hawks, and we will.
Yep, right you are. Ross is on his way in. We'll take a break. All tied at 3. Big spot here. 2 outs. Ross coming in to face the bases loaded next. Then single for Gavin Rourke and a walk for Connor O'Brien has the bases loaded. So they're all the responsibility of Brandon White and the left-hander, Ethan Ross, who comes in with the 2.70 ERA and 4 strikeouts, 6 walks. Facing Justin Mazzone, the left-handed hitting designated hitter. And a good start to the relief appearance, strike 1.
This Cougar coaching staff been very excited about the development of Ethan Ross. Made a couple appearances last year before the season cut short, but a big power left-handed arm for the Cougs.
Spikes it on Meyer. This is on past him, and the Redhawks take the lead. Home from third, Heiser on another wild pitch in the inning for the Cougars. And it's 4-3 Seattle U, and that's what you couldn't have in this bases-loaded spot.
Yeah, been a tough day, busy day for Meyer back there. Brendan White fighting command issues, and a couple things got away from Jake early, but not all his fault. But that one was spiked, so tough pitch to handle there when he takes a high hop, and you kind of almost have to leave your feet to block.
4-3 Redhawks, 2 in position, and Meyer having to stop another. Mazzone doubled his last time up. If he does that here, the Redhawks are going to be sitting pretty in the 4th. After a 2-run third, 2-run 4th to answer the Cougars' first 3 runs. Again past Meyer. That bounced on him once again, and home to scores Rourke. Tough going for the backstop here in the 4th. And it's a 2-run Seattle U lead. Kind of looked like the similar scenario to what we saw a few pitches back, Bobby.
Yeah, but it's like Ethan Ross just pulled that one a little bit. Jake Meyer had to go into the other batter's box to try and save that one.
And ball 4, not close. So a free pass for Justin Mazzone. Corner runners, still 2 outs. Maybe a little bit of nerves getting to Ethan Ross, who came in with a bases-loaded spot.
Right, and this is one of those early season situations where you didn't get to play a lot of team scrimmages. So outside in January before the season, you didn't get a chance to rehearse these, go through these as much as you can. Now you're doing these in game action where, all right, Ethan, you need to get hot in the early innings, come in, and there's guys on base, and we need an out right now.
We missed Julian Kodama. RBI single for him in the 3rd. That was the 2nd run in the inning for the Redhawks, who've now put together a nice day at the plate. They've waited out their opportunities, taken the free passes and the bases as they've been there, and it's been a solid game so far for Seattle U. Even count to Kodama. Nice pitch there. Coming on back into it for Ross. Be a great time for a strikeout here for the Southpaw with corner runners and 2 gone in the Seattle U 4th. Time's called, and the coaches in the Seattle U dugout upset as the pitch clock reset again. And now Donnie Harrell's frustrated out of the first base dugout. Said the pitch clock reset before the delivery. Here's the 1-2. Tapped high on the infield. Everybody could beat this out, but it's right at second base. Nice play at second for Colden to tap on the bag, and well-placed high chopper ends a 3-run 4th inning for Seattle U. Redhawks reclaim the lead. Cougar Bats will have some work to do when we come back. Cougar half of the 4th coming up. Reminder coming up tomorrow. Game 3 of the set. 12:05 first pitch. See Gianni Tomasi, Preston Clifford, Cody Colden for the Cougars in the 4th. In between innings, Donnie Harrell, long discussion with the umpires, Joseph Penna and Tim Vassie, home plate and third base respectively, talking about the pitch clock. Strike one to Gianni Tomasi. The Red Hawks a big 3-run fourth to take their first lead of the series, 5-3. Riley Sinclair worked his first inning out of the pen last inning. Now he's ahead of Tomasi 0-2. For Sinclair, this becomes his 5th inning pitched, is yet to surrender a run. He gets to do so in the sunshine here in the 4th as it's breaking through the clouds in Pullman as the afternoon progresses. Now we'll see how the Cougars respond. First time trailing in the series, and after a Dixie State series where the Cougars kind of did whatever they wanted, now facing some adversity again in series number 3. Strikeout. Tomasi's down swinging on the breaking ball from Sinclair. It's a good feeling if you're Riley Sinclair now. He came in relief. Your guys get you the lead, and now you can go out there and try to get in a groove in these middle innings.
Yeah, this 6'4 freshman right-hander has come in firing bullets, man. A lot of juice behind his arm and filling up the strike zone and bringing a lot of energy to his club.
By the way, got a great double play to get out of the 3rd with a couple men on. And there's that gas past Preston Clifford. A good breaking ball for strike 2. Sinclair's got a good feel for it now. Wants to take care of the 8-9 hitters here in the 4th. At short, handled by O'Brien. Throw to first on the line, and that's a quick 2 outs in the 4th for Riley Sinclair. Just what you wanted to do with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, you take that strike zone, no free passes with the top of the lineup coming up for the Cougar offense. That's kind of gone quiet these last 5 or 6 at-bats.
It was after a 1-run first and 2 runs in the 2nd for WSU. First pitch to Colden missing. Cougars have still racked up the hits with 5 of them and limited the strikeouts to only 2 so far. But kind of being plagued by the same problem Seattle U had a night ago, not able to deliver in some key spots. 1-1 to Colden. There was a bases loaded spot left in the 2nd, a 1st and 2nd with 1 out left in the 3rd, and those are proving costly for the Cougar bats right now. Colden going to force a tough play for O'Brien. With speed, O'Brien's throw is there, and the foot stays on for Manningo. Nice play by the first baseman, laying out for it in a 1-2-3-4 for Riley Sinclair. That takes us through 4 with the Red Hawks leading the Cougars in Pullman 5-3. 5-3 ball game. Cougars will stay with the left-hander Ethan Ross heading to inning number 5. Red Hawks a 1-2-3 frame. Cougars a little unhappy with how the 4th ended. It's on a stretch-out play at first, and the Washington State dugout did not think that Drake Manningo kept his foot on the bag, but Cody Colden was called out. So it goes. We march on to the 5th. Austin Lively, Matt Boysenalt, Drake Manningo for the Red Hawks in this 5th inning, and Ethan Ross now a chance to settle in a little more conventional after coming in with the bases loaded last inning. He'll try to get into a groove and settle things down for the Cougar pitching staff. A bunt shown, fouled off Meyer. And he's slow to get up. Going to take him just a second. Now it looks okay. Brian Green can come out and check on him as well in this spot.
Yeah, I think that squared up Jake pretty good. A foul tip and soft spotted the chest protector, maybe the edge, and so it gets a little bit more of the body than just missed all the equipment. But busy first 4+ innings for the junior backstop for the Cougs.
Yeah, last inning, a bit nightmarish for the Cougar battery. Saw a few wild pitches. A lot of unforced miscues in the fourth for the Cougars that led to a Seattle U lead. And now the goal is just to clean it up from here on out and pitch it solid, let your offense try to get you back.
Be a good test for the Cougars. A young left-hander on the mound in a big spot. Needs a bounce-back inning. Cougar offense has gone quiet the last couple innings by the Seattle Redhawk bullpen, and Seattle U feeling good with the lead over a Pac-12 team.
After splitting a pair with Oregon a week ago, the final line for Brandon White, 3 2/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, with 4 coming earned. He struck out 3 and walked 2 on 81 pitches and just really never found his rhythm. Ross with the 1-2. Breaking ball gets his man looking. Lively has to head back to the dugout for the second time watching. First strikeout for Ross out of the pen.
Yeah, pretty hook from the left-hander Ross. 6'2", 200 pounds, and nice location, perfect timing, and good speed. It was just a good execution for a 2-strike pitch. Get the strikeout for Ross.
And this is a little too high with the fastball to start off Matt Boysenall. Matt opened up the fourth inning for the Redhawks with a double. Came home to score on a throwing error after a drop third strike. 2-0. For Boysenall, the double earlier was already his 4th extra base hit of the season in 5 hits. Excuse me, all of its hits for extra bases. He took a big cut, wanted a homer there, 2-1. But he has 3 doubles now, a triple, and a home run on the year for his 5 total hits, Matt Boysenall. Nice fastball. That'll work to blow it past Boysenall, and it's 2-2. Ethan Ross maybe has designs of back-to-back punch-outs. Students come alive for the 2-2. Just fouled off. You can see the confidence building in Ross on the mound here in the 5th. Breaking ball's right there, but it will not ring up Boysenall.
It looked like Ross tried to bring the hook again. Missed a little high. Big 3-2 pitch. Momentum 3-2 pitch right here for both clubs.
Here is that payoff. A check swing, Tapper foul.
You could tell this young left-hander, Ethan Ross out of Southern California, has got some nasty stuff to him. Still struggling to figure out the command. Get that narrowed down with experience as he gets reps and gets continuous see a number of different situations coming out of the bullpen or even as a starter, but big-time stuff.
And just buried it. Boysenall able to hold back and credit the batter there on not chasing. So Matt Boysenall works the walk with 1 out.
First baseman.
And we will tell you that the Cougar bullpen is moving again. Looks like another left-hander working down there for the Cougs. Anthony Clegg gets out of the dugout for the Cougars. Don't see any active throwing going on, and they are going to call to the pen. It appears it's going to be Bryce Moyle running in out of the bullpen, a senior southpaw this time for the Cougars. We'll tell you more about him as he joins this contest next. 5-3 Seattle U leading on the pitching change for WSU. Cougars turning to some experience in the fifth inning. Things getting away from the pitching staff a little bit. Bryce Moyle, the senior, coming in. He's had some nice appearances already in 2021. 3 scoreless innings of relief at UC Davis, inning and 2/3. Scoreless relief at Dixie State. Now, Bobby, this is what the Cougars are looking for. They need someone with some experience who can settle this down and kind of get it back into rhythm.
Yeah, as a senior left-hander out of Nevada, Bryce Moyle has been in a number of different situations for the Cougs. He started on midweek games. He's come out of the bullpen, one of the first guys out on the weekend, and even closed some games for the Cougs the last couple years. But a big left-hander along with Michael Newstrom, one of those left-handers that's going to throw a couple times a weekend. But I think Moyle's in here, work a couple innings and bring some energy, but a little bit more velocity. Not as much as Ross, but he's got some velocity and a guy that's been around a number of different situations the last couple of years. But look for the left-hander Moyle to attack some hitters.
4 2/3 innings this season and just 2 hits allowed, and has yet to surrender a run. So he works behind Ethan Ross here in the 5th. Command's been a problem for the Cougar pitching staff, and a first pitch out will be just what you drew up for Moyle. Liner straight to Gianni Tomasi.
Yeah, right on cue for the left-hander. Challenge him, throw a strike, a little bit of movement on the outside half, catches on the end of the bat, and 1 out. That's the second out of this 5th inning.
Cougars trying to post their first scoreless inning in the field since the second. 2-run third, 3-run fourth for Seattle U to put the Red Hawks in front. Grant Heiser, the catcher, he misses off speed on that first pitch from Moyle, and again was thinking fastball on that first pitch.
Yeah, pretty changeup from Moyle. Typically a fastball, curveball, kind of over the top curveball, 12-6, but pretty change that the senior dropped in right there.
And gets the 0-1 fouled off. Coming in throwing strikes, just what the Cougars needed. And a pitch away from trying to send it back to this offense. It's been held scoreless in the last couple innings. We'll talk more about that in the next frame, but Seattle U did a nice job of holding down Oregon in its series in Eugene. Big reason they came back and split 4 with the Ducks a week ago. Moyle too high with the 0-2. A lot on the line for the Cougars today, trying to grab a 3rd series win to start the year after a couple series on the road. And off to a fantastic 8-1 start, but some rough patches in the middle of this Saturday afternoon. Heiser able to battle it back even. Both sides with 5 hits. Cougars have had 2 errors in the field, flurry of wild pitches, and that's come back to bite today. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Moyle the strikeout. There's that nice curve, and that takes us to the bottom of the 5th. Nice work out of the bullpen. Gets the first 2 guys he sees, and it's still 5-3 Seattle U with the Cougar offense looking to threaten next. Saturday afternoon baseball at Bailey Brayton Field. See some fans coming well prepared there. Red Hawks trying to even the series up, but off to a good start so far at the halfway point. A 5-3 lead. Riley Sinclair out of the bullpen has kept the Cougars quiet in the last 2 innings. We'll try for a 3rd here, facing a tough part of the order. Kyle Manzardo, Tristan Peterson, Colin Montez. Sinclair just lost the handle straight out of the delivery to open up the fifth.
Yeah, Sinclair, this big freshman right-hander has been tough and been impressive these first couple innings, but we'll face another test, face the Cougar 2-3-4 hitters.
I kind of had the back-to-back singles after the first out of the pen and then really settled down from there. Double play in a 1-2-3 inning. Redhawks definitely been wary of Manzardo. Hit his 5th home run of the season a day ago. He walked in his last at-bat on 5 pitches and starts off ahead 2-0. Now 3-0. The catcher, Grant Heiser, telling his right-hander just to settle down a little bit. Reaching a bit in this first at-bat to the All-American. See if he gets back in with a strike. A 4-pitch walk to Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, interesting there. He's been so effective his first 2 innings. I wonder if maybe a longer inning, a couple of pitching changes for the Cougars last inning, and a couple of base runners led to a long inning. So maybe a long inning dugout kind of got him frozen a little bit. But he's see if he can work out of it. But another big hitter for the Cougars, Tristan Peterson digs in. Manzardo's now walked in his last 2 plate appearances. He's now reached base in 36 straight games.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of walks for him. He's trying to get a hitting streak up to 27 games today. So he did have the hard hit grounder back to the pitcher in the first inning. But it is interesting. A 75% strike thrower in his first 2 innings out of the pen, Ryan Sinclair, and then missed on 4 straight to Manzardo. Comes right back, though, to get ahead of Peterson 0-2.
Right, little do we know. And then he breaks off 2 breaking pitches against the Cougar 3-hole.
We're going to see a lot of walks for Kyle Manzardo to keep swinging it like he has for the Cougars. And WSU just needs to make him pay off. Peterson won't chase 0-2. Riley Sinclair has a chance to make this his ball game. His 3rd appearance of the season. Taking over for the starter, Nestor Herman. High pop-up. This is lazy in the sun. Left fielder calling for it, and Sherrick will make the catch. Good communication there for the Red Hawks, and big out. Put down Tristan Peterson for Riley Sinclair.
Yeah, right on that, Trevor Williams. Big out, a big first out for Sinclair and the Red Hawks. You get the big right-handed power hitter Peterson underneath one. Hung up there a long time. You're waiting for the wind or maybe the sun or clouds and just everything that's going on. The Palouse this morning would have a factor in that. But no, nice play. Routine out, not always routine.
So Colin Montez, who singled back in the first, started the scoring in the series yesterday. The ball almost got past Manningo on the throw over to first. So had to make a couple athletic moves off the first base bag, one to end last inning, and there saving a base or 2 for Manzardo. Now we see delivery to Montez. It's a strike. Sinclair can do what he did in the 3rd inning, just a well-placed ground ball away from getting right out of it again. After the 4-pitch walk to Manzardo started the frame. Montez fouls it off. Strikeouts have been limited. The Cougars 3 hits with runners on base in this ball game, but have had trouble getting runners in scoring position opportunities. And Montez in a hole 0-2. easy take. And this looks like it's Sinclair's inning. No reason it shouldn't be. 10 pitches each of the third and fourth innings. And his 12th of his third inning of relief coming up right here. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Sinclair. Yeah, that's out number 2.
Yeah, that's a nasty breaking pitch by Sinclair. He got Peterson a batter earlier to fly out, but there's Montez swinging over. And big second out for Sinclair, but nasty stuff after not wanting anything to do with Manzardo. 2 big outs.
Manzardo was in motion, so he's at second base. Justin Vanderbrake needs to take advantage of this runner in scoring position opportunity on some movement by Manzardo on the base paths. High chopper. Could be tough. No one covering first as everybody converged on the chopper. And that leads to the infield single for Vanderbrake. Manzardo to third as well, and that's a big break for the Cougars. If someone's there at first, like Manningo, there's maybe a chance. But nothing with him coming in trying to play the baseball along with Austin Lively and Riley Sinclair.
What a dangerous play there. The speed of Vanderbrake kind of made it a no contest at first, but Manzardo came halfway down the line at third base and probably could have scored. The Red Hawk first baseman kind of put his head down on the play. I think he strayed too far from the base. There wasn't a play to get Vanderbrake, but break for the Red Hawks. That Manzardo kind of slammed on the brakes at third base. It could have been a 5-4 game.
The Cougars want to take advantage of this opportunity. Meyer to right field, hanging up for Boysenald, having to take a late run, and the wind maybe plays it into the corner. One scores, here comes a second, and it's Vanderbrake with that speed you mentioned all the way around, and a 2 RBI double for Jake Meyer to tie us at 5.
Man, how good does that feel for Jake Meyer? It's been a tough day behind the plate. Been beaten up by the Cougar pitching staff. Some of his fault, some on the mound, but comes up big with the 2-out double down the right field line. Yeah, I think the wind carried that one a little bit at the end because we've seen Boysenall make a number of nice plays his first game and a half of the series, but big 2-out double for Jake Meyer, tie game.
Third hit of the game for Meyer, 2 singles and that 2 RBI double now. Here's up the middle, play to the left for O'Brien, throw to first, ends the 5th with the Cougars drawing even. Jake Meyer, third hit of the ball game, a double to knot us at 5, and we go to the 6th next on Pac-12 Plus. Brand new ball game headed to the 6th, 5 aside. You see that wind that maybe aided a well-hit 2 RBI double for Jake Meyer in the 5th, but his third hit of the ball game knots us at 5. And now we see Bryce Moyle in this brand new ball game up on the hill. The left-hander did a nice job to cap things in the 5th inning, came in with a man on and got a line out to center and a strikeout. And starts strike 1 to Kyle Sherrick. So we'll tidy up the line for the first in relief for the Cougars, Ethan Ross, after this next pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. Moyle never seemed to have the handle on that. Ross ends up with 2/3 of an inning. No hits, but he did walk 2. And he had 1 strikeout. This pitch for strike 2 to Sherrick. I think the move you saw from the Cougars an inning ago was at 21 pitches, Ross could have gone further, but they knew it was time to go to somebody who was going to command the zone, and Moyle's done just that. The benefit of having the senior who's pitched in a ton of situations. Not going to be rattled up there on the mound, and just what Washington State needs in this tight ball game. Strikeout number 2 for Moyle. Blows it past Kyle Sherrick.
Number 22, Gavin Orr.
Just what they wanted. 3 batters faced by Moyle out of the pen, and all 3 sent down back-to-back on punch-outs. In the top of the order, Gavin Rourke.
That's kind of what we've expected to see out of Moyle the last couple seasons by him, as he's kind of equated and gained a number of experience, seen a number of situations throw strikes.
He starts Gavin Rourke off with a strike. Rourke a tough out today, 2 singles, a sac fly, and he's scored a run in the game as well with a stolen base. He's been all over the place for the Red Hawks. Trying to be the first to break through on Moyle. Last year we saw the appearance for Moyle, a big relief appearance of 4 innings against Niagara as a bloop shot goes foul down the left field line, and that was close. Tim Vassy all over it. And Gavin Rourke had designs extra bases but missed it by just a hair.
Yeah, he's been flirting with that left field line, poking it the other way. First couple games of this series and nearly had a double. But Rourke's been a tough out for this Cougar pitching staff.
But I think the situation that Moyle's in, it could be very similar to his last appearance of 2020. March 9th against Niagara, threw 4 innings of relief and got the winning decision. 5 strikeouts in that appearance and didn't issue a walk. Trying to do it again at Bailey Brayton Field. Goes and hits one between the shoulder blades on Rourke. So now Gavin adds a hit by pitch to his afternoon, and he's on with an out.
Connor O'Brien.
Rourke's been on base just about every play you can have so far for the Red Hawks today.
I think that's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. That's going to cause a lot of problems throughout the WAC conference and be a big benefit for the Seattle Red Hawk offense. But Rourke's been a fun player to watch.
And a big stolen base threat here, too. 6 steals, hasn't been caught on the season. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in motion at some point. Maybe the one thing working against that is that he's got a left-hander on the mound staring straight at him.
This is one of those situations where you like the experience that Bryce Moyle's been up there. He's been up there in the middle innings or facing the top of the order, and there's a speedster at first base and mix his looks and hold it, and times to worry about the runner and times to lock in on the pitch. But this is the guy the Cougs want out there, Bryce Moyle.
He offers over at first to keep Rourke close to the bag. Connor O'Brien's been on twice, both times via free pass today. Does have 1 homer on this season, and the Red Hawks not really powered by the long ball, just 2 of them this year. And they've kept it in the yard in this series as well, but well done today so far in this 5-5 ball game. Red Hawks have had some nice 2-out hitting. That's really powered it. Rourke gets a great jump, swung on and missed, and Rourke's easily safe at second. Another steal for Gavin Rourke, his second of the ball game.
Yeah, nice quick move by Moyle, but the speed of Rourke causing problems again for the Cougs, and he slides in easily for second base. Man in scoring position for the Red Hawks with 1 out.
He timed that up perfect. So now the pressure mounts against Bryce Moyle. Breaking ball's popped up. Shallow center, and actually the wind's going to push it to right. And coming in to grab it's Colin Montez.
It was a great call, Trev. I mean, it looked like the simple play, maybe even going to be trouble for the Cougars. Just the bloop. I thought right off the bat, I thought, oh, that's going to bloop into the right center, the triangle out there. But no, the wind has picked up the last inning and a half, and you can see the big American flag blowing hard out to right field, and ball blew right to Montez at right field. So nice break for the Cougs, and 2 outs, and
There's
lefty matchup right here for Moyle.
Yeah, there's an unluckiness to it at times, but it also can be an advantage for the Cougars that, you play in these conditions. The Palouse is a windy place as it is. Breaking ball almost takes the dome of Mazzone. But you're going back to the 2 RBI double last inning for Meyer. It's one of those things you're a little more comfortable with it as an outfielder. You get a better jump. You kind of know where to anticipate things and just how impactful that wind is, and it certainly blows the ball around. Nice breaking pitch and pulled the string on Mazzone. Bryce Moyle evens it up at a ball and a strike. But that's something early season on the Palouse. It's almost like you can play in a ball game that has almost 3 or 4 different weather patterns to it. Strong wind out to right field. 2 balls and a strike to Justin Mazzone now. Nice to see this beautiful ballpark with some limited fans and back-to-back Pac-12 sets for Seattle U. Splitting with Oregon, trying to draw even in this series with Washington State. There's a strike from Moyle.
Yeah, pretty two-seamer by Moyle. That looked, when he let go of that looked in the right-handed hitter's batter's box, but drew it back just enough, moved back just enough on the outside part of the plate. Strike 2, 2's across the board, big pitch.
Lefty would like to draw on his 3rd strikeout here. Instead turns around to keep Rourke close, who already has 2 stolen bases in the ball game and represents the go-ahead run in the 6th. As a staff, Cougars have dialed up 6 strikeouts. Moyle makes it 7. Got his man on the breaking ball. Mazzone couldn't hold back. Bryce Moyle gets out of that spot, and we're still tied, headed to the bottom of the 6th. 5-all and Pullman on Pac-12+. Scores even at 5 on the Palouse. Big strikeout by Bryce Moyle to end the top half of the 6th. Cougar Bats drew it even on a 2-out, 2 RBI double for Jake Meyer in the 5th. It'll be Jack Smith, Gianni Tomasi, Preston Clifford, 7-8-9. I should say 8-9-1, Gianni Tomasi, Preston Clifford, Cody Colden in the 6th. Bunt shown and pulled back for the first pitch south of zone to Tomasi.
Yeah, excited. The big opportunity here for Gianni. He can handle the bat well. Anything on the ground, he has a chance to beat it out. And then you have Clifford, who can go up there and bunt him over, move him over to second base. But big at bat here for Gianni. He can do a number of things. Good pressure on the defense.
It's nice for him to start off ahead. 2 balls and no strikes. Washington State all-time and Pullman leads the series with Seattle U 9-4, and we've had a great one today. Seattle U, a team a few years removed from winning the WAC, and the team 1 game back from them that season was Brian Green's New Mexico State bunch. The Redhawks continue to provide great competition in the Northwest. There's a strike to Tomasi. It's a program that was reborn, and Donnie Harrell's been the only skipper since that point back in 2010. And a 5-pitch walk for Tomasi. Bob, you mentioned it. Now you get him on base, and all kinds of things can happen for the Cougars in this tie ball game.
Yeah, Preston Clifford at the 9-hole, a typical 9-hole, what you want in the Pac-12, and your second baseman, a gritty guy that can do a lot of things. He can get the bunt down, he can put the ball down, put the ball in play for a hit and run, or you can just kind of stand there and watch Tomasi work. Tomasi stole 15 bags in his junior college before coming to Washington State, so speedster, one of the better athletes on the team for the Cougars at first base.
Right on cue there, checking on Tomasi. You're going to try to hold him as close as they can. this season hasn't yet had an opportunity for a stolen base. Clifford, though, going to get the bunt down. That'll work to move Tomasi up. Good work by Preston Clifford. Got exactly what he needed, and the sack bunt makes it a man in scoring position.
Just how you drew it up. Your 8-hole works a walk, a leadoff walk, and 9-hole can do a number of things. One of the stations Coach Green has his offense work on every day, as a number of programs do across the country, but Coach Green is usually pretty close to that bunt station and making sure everybody 1 through 9 can handle the bat, and Preston Clifford does the good job of that.
So Cody Colden with a man in position now. He had a 2 RBI single in the second. At the time, made it a 3-0 Cougar lead. For Colden, the 2 runs driven in brought his total on the season already up to 16. Colden drove in a total of 6 in the shortened season last year. 20 2 years ago. Took one off the bat here, and I think it came up and got him right in the grill. Ricochet on a bunt attempt. It's no balls and 2 strikes, and the Cougars will have Gunnar Gouldsmith, the freshman, come in to hit for him in this spot. It's a little tough to come off the bench in this spot where the Cougars have it dialed up with a man in scoring position in a tie ball game, but big opportunity for Gunnar Gouldsmith. Everybody set back up. Riley Sinclair, you see him looking in. Gets to start 0-2 ahead of Gouldsmith. Big opportunity here for the freshman. He's from Reno, Nevada. Of course, not the first Gouldsmith to don the crimson and gray. Outside to even the count up. Kyle Manzardo waits on deck. Still a lot of threat here in the 6th inning for the Cougars. Sinclair, as time's called, will get a reset of his pitch clock that was running down. That was called by Gouldsmith. Gouldsmith trying to convert for the Cougars, who are 3 for 7 today with runners in scoring position. The count will be full. Good patience right off the bench for Gouldsmith. Takes the count full, 3-2. At second base, Gianni Tomasi there via the sac bunt from Preston Clifford after a Tomasi walk to open the inning. Gouldsmith hits it on the left side. It's going to advance Tomasi. Barehanded play out of short, not in time. Gouldsmith beats it out for the infield single, and corner runners for the Cougars with 1 out in the 6th.
One in at bat by the freshman, sitting there cold for the last 5 innings. Injury happens to Cougars leadoff man, and Gunner stretching, running down has 10 seconds to get loose, gets up there, sees a couple pitches, beats out a infield single in a big moment, a tie game, and now the Cougar All-American digs in.
Manzardo a chance to do some damage with corner runners. The Red Hawks sense it, and they're going to make a call to the bullpen here in the 6th. We'll tell you about a new arm for Seattle U when we come back. It's all tied at 5. 1st and 3rd, 1 out, approaching the late innings on Pac-12+. Left-on-left matchup forthcoming. Kyle Manzardo, who's scored a run in this game, been on twice via walks, is going to face off against left-hander Alex Mcbee for Seattle U. Mcbee comes into this ball game, a senior southpaw from South Jordan, Utah, and a good storyline here brewing in the bottom of the 6th inning. Corner runners for the Cougars, who fought back in the 5th to tie the ball game at 5. And Kyle Manzardo coming to the plate, just sitting on a 26-game hitting streak dating to the final game of 2019 throughout last year's 2020 season and so far to start the first 9 of 2021. But he only had that first plate appearance with really a chance for a hit, walked in his next 2, and hit it well in that first plate appearance for what it was worth, right back at the mound. But Nestor Herman, the starter for Seattle U, who's been long gone today, made a great play and sent it to first. But these are the spots when you're a big-time hitter, when you're an All-American, this is what you live for, a chance to put your team ahead.
And we mentioned a little bit last night, he had a couple of bats against the Red Hawk, a left-hander out of the bullpen. Here's another one.
Went to him specifically for this opportunity as Mcbee starts a strike to Manzardo.
It'll be first of many matchups this season for Kyle Manzardo against a left-hander coming out of the bullpen.
Pretty big hole on the left side, also to his right with the first baseman Manningo having to hold on the new player Goldsmith. Drive to right center. Manzardo got it there. Hop off the fence. Manzardo's got the go-ahead home for the Cougars. 27-game hitting streak, and Washington State in front, 6-5.
What an impressive piece of hitting. Just a little bit too much of the plate for Manzardo. He hammers it into right center field, giving the Cougars the lead, 6-5. There's your All-American coming up big, staying on the pitch, driving it back up the middle. Big swing by the Cougar All-American, Kyle Manzardo.
Silly me, I'm talking about holes on the infield. Manzardo says, let me gap one for the lead.
There's an infield? Yeah.
Tristan Peterson now, a 2019 All-American with 2 in scoring position, could give the Cougars a more comfortable advantage. Kyle Manzardo, 27 consecutive games with a hit, spanning now 3 seasons. Granted, one was the final game of 2019, the short season in 2020, and now 2021. Off the glove of the catcher, Heiser, and everybody's going to stay put. It took a quick bounce back off the backstop, and 2 balls, no strikes coming to Peterson. Crisis averted for Seattle U. Peterson so far hit by a pitch, and he's had a couple fly balls to right and left field. It's a great count. 2 in scoring position and only 1 out. Three balls, no strikes. Mcbee misses here. Colin Montez waits on deck. He already has a hit in 3 at-bats. And the Cougars back in front for the first time since the 4th inning. Peterson waits to see a strike in this at-bat.
I think you mentioned it a little bit ago. We talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, this Cougar lineup, the depth of the Cougar lineup. You have a base open. Do you want to load them to face Colin Montez?
It's pick your poison, right? Montez still part of that big 4, and he is batting in the cleanup spot. But that's what you love if you're the Cougars about this lineup, is there's really not a lot of good options to pitch around, especially at the top. And there is ball 4. Peterson's aboard. Manzardo at second. Goldsmith at third. And Colin Montez with the bases loaded. 3rd at-bat upcoming for the Cougars as a team today with the bags packed. Last night it was the 8th inning to rip it open for the Cougar offense. And Brian Green said there was a little bit left to be desired after the performance a day ago at the plate. And his guys have answered that pretty well today. Only struck out 3 times so far. and a big one-out opportunity for Colin Montez. He'll start ahead. Cougars came into the series averaging tenths of a point over 10 runs per game. Scored 6 in the series opener last night, a 6-1 victory. There's nowhere to put Montez, and he's in the driver's seat. 2 balls, no strikes. We'll see time called, and the leader of this Red Hawk infield, Julian Kodama, we've seen him a couple times. So Kodama out to the mound to talk with Alex Mcbee.
Yeah, nice move by the veteran third baseman. Falls behind. It hasn't really been close these first 2 pitches, but big moment. Hey, catch your breath. Let's slow down. Let's 1 pitch at a time. But for the Cougars, you want to see Montez in this big situation, a big left-hander that's been around, been a lot of situations. Big moment for him as well.
Against the senior lefty Mcbee, pours in a strike.
That's also, one of the benefits of these early season, these matchups, these preseason games. Are Manzardo and Colin Montez. They get to see one of the better left-handers coming out of the bullpen, the lefty-lefty matchup, because come conference play, that's all they're going to see.
It's 3 balls and a strike to Montez with the count swelling. Justin Vanderbrake, who's been heating up 3 straight multi-hit games, waits on deck. Colin Montez trying to do some damage in the Cougar 6th. 3-1 offering. And a walk to bring home a 7th run for the Cougars. That'll do the job. An RBI for Montez. And now it's been setting up this weekend, I think, for Justin Vanderbrake to kind of knock the rust off and say he's back, and no better opportunity than right here. Bases loaded, and it can continue for the Cougars in the 6th.
That's a great point, Trevor. One of the first questions Coach Green got on his weekly press conferences about the struggles of Vanderbrake. He said, absolutely not. Just been hitting balls right at guys. Well, he's been getting paid these first couple games. Another big spot.
Takes strike 1 from Mcbee. I liked in that presser. In fact, they were heading straight out for early work after Brian Green was going to be done with that, and he said that Justin was going to be one of the first guys out there at those extra 45 minutes before practice, just getting swings in. Next from Mcbee. Almost caught the shoe tops of Vanderbrake.
The interesting time of day. We talked about this again yesterday. The sun and the shadows are kind of crossing paths right now. Home plate in the shadows, a pitcher in the sun.
Vanderbrake right side, past a diving Manningo. Gonna score 2 for the Cougars and give them a much stronger advantage now. 9-5 Washington State on a 2 RBI single for Justin Vanderbrake, his 3rd hit of the ballgame and 3rd consecutive.
Nice piece of hitting by the veteran. You mentioned him, all the early work that Coach Green was talking about. Kind of didn't get off to the start he wanted for 2021, but the work's paying off these first couple games of this series. Veteran, muscles one the other way, ready to handle any pitch, puts the ball in play, which Coach mentioned last night in his post-game presser. Put the ball in play, competed, good things will happen, 2-run score.
After falling behind 5-3, it's now 9-5 Cougars in a very productive 6th inning. Tell you after this pitch to Jake Meyer. It's productive because the only out so far was on a sacrifice, what the Cougars intended. And it's already been 7 men to the plate and 4 Cougar runs. Count evens up to Meyer. 2 RBI double his last time up. That brought the game even at 5, and it was into the right field corner. Meyer can't get a piece of that. Like Vanderbrake, Meyer sitting on a 3-hit performance. 2 singles, the 2 RBI double, and he scored a run. Had a bit of a tough evening at the dish, or is the backstop, I should say, behind the dish for the Cougars. Some pitches bouncing kind of all over the place on him, and lines it foul to keep the at-bat alive at a ball and 2 strikes. That's been a theme today. We've talked about it. Cougars have kept at-bats alive. Minimized strikeouts. 2-out hitting, been a big success. 4 2-out hits and 7 at-bats. And now 6 of 10 with runners in scoring position. That's strike 3. Meyer trying to sell that it was inside, but it caught the zone, and that's out number 2.
Third baseman, number 5, Jack Smith.
So all 9 Cougars in the order will come to the plate in the 6th inning. They want to get greedy, but already 4 across to take a 9-5 advantage. Smith delivered some late runs yesterday. First pitch swinging here out to Lively, and that is retired for the final out of the Cougars' 6th. All 9 batters come to the plate. Washington State brings home 4 runs, and it's now a 9-5 Cougar lead in control heading to the back third. Sunny, breezy afternoon on the Palouse, and the Cougars back in front. Back and forth ball game we've had on this Saturday. But a 4-run 6th puts the Cougars in front. Defensively, it'll remain Goldsmith in the spot of Colden at short, and time is called from the Seattle U dugout. Donnie Harrell wants to speak to his batter, and the Redhawks were about to hit out of order. So Donnie Harrell caught it. And it looks like Julian Kodama should be the one to lead off the frame, and here he is. Moyle's pitch, and that bounces off the mask of home plate umpire Joseph Penna. So now he'll have a second to shake things off. Jake Meyer making sure he's okay, as Meyer's taking a little bit of friendly fire behind the dish today as well. Julian Kodama, Austin Lively, Matt Boysenalt due up in the 7th for Seattle U. Although it looks like we do have a pinch hitter waiting on deck. 2 balls, no strikes to Kodama. That would be Mason Hoover in the on-deck circle. He's the one who jumped in a little early here in the top of the 7th. Strike across. Kodama showing bunt and then didn't want the fastball. Bryce Moyle came in and did so with an out in the 5th inning. He's taking care of business since. Got out of a scoreless 5th. A nice 6th inning in which he just hit a batter, had a stolen base, but a pair of strikeouts kept things in line, and he's gotten back some scoreless innings here against the Redhawks. Looking for his 3rd punch out or make it his 4th punch out of the pen. We'll have to see another 2-2 to Julian Kodama. Breaking ball, lost the handle, counts full. 7 strikeouts for the Cougar staff. We saw 7 from Zane Mills in the fantastic 8-inning start a night ago. Payoff pitch. Line foul. Good at bat here put up by Kodama. It's an 8th pitch coming up. 3-2 the count. The Cougars trying to post a 3rd straight scoreless inning thanks to the relief work from left-hander Bryce Moyle. Been very composed out of the pen and gets the grounder over at Clifford. Throw to first and out number 1 in the Seattle U7. Now we see a pinch hitter, Mason Hoover. Austin Lively was pinch hit for last night as well. Hoover pinch hitting in the second base spot. And the first pitch he sees bounces in. Was so excited to get off the bench, almost jumped the order. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. You jump out and does he get pinch hit for anyways if you go out there and take out the Kodama, the Red Hawks' best hitter, and you take him out? How quickly does he go back to the bench after doing that? But a guy eager to get up there and make a play for his ball club. Can't fault that.
Ball and 2 strikes now to Hoover. Couldn't catch a piece of that devastating breaking ball. It was a good thing that Donnie Harrell was on top of that in the Red Hawk dugout. Definitely didn't want to lose Kodama. Ooh. Hoover thought about it, that bouncing pitch in. The Cougars have gotten exactly what they've asked for out of Bryce Moyle. 23 pitches in his 2 1/3 innings of relief coming into this inning. Hasn't allowed a run. In fact, on the season. Just missed, trying to play with the upper outside corner. There have been payoff counts galore in this ball game. Moyle trying to win a battle in this spot. Got him. 4th strikeout for Moyle. Hoover can't believe it. That's 2 up, 2 down in the 7th for the Red Hawks.
Pretty pitch by the senior left-hander Bryce Moyle. Stayed outside for most of the at-bat and pounds the inside half of the zone for strike 3 call. Nice execution by the senior left-hander Bryce Moyle.
The cheerleaders hang their 8th strikeouts on their signage down the third base line. 4 of them thanks to Bryce Moyle. And he starts ahead of Matt Boysenall. It's turned into a really nice evening. A little bit on the cool side, but a sunny, crisp night at Bailey Brayton Field. Nice that we're just a week away from turning those clocks again. Going to see the days get longer, and it's that ultimate signal that baseball season is here and in full swing. Boysenalt's 1 for 2, a double, a walk, and a run scored. But sits in a now 1-2 hole here. And the Red Hawks need to get something going quickly after their productive 3rd and 4th innings. Moyle just couldn't get the handle on his curveball. At stake for the Cougars, looking for their first 3 series victories in concession since the 2008 season when they won series over Creighton, UNLV, and Wright State. Moyle's 2-2. Stay on the ground. Cougars already at 8-1 off to their best start since 2010. That club went 9-1 and eventually 10-2. And for the team, it's 2 straight series wins for the first time since 2011. As there's those shadows playing with Moyle on the throwback to the pitcher.
Right, a couple scary moments there earlier in their inning. The umpire takes one off the shoulder. Now Bryce is looking into that shade and lost the ball getting thrown back to him.
See if it phases him on the 2-2. Redhawks have worked some competitive at-bats, but missing the hits since that 4th inning. Couple extra base hits in that stretch, doubles in the 3rd and 4th. Helped Seattle U grab its first lead of the series. Bryce Moyle's been nails since. Hard line drive into the Cougar bullpen. Just a little too far out in front for Boysenall. Mentioned all of his hits this season. There's 5 of them have all gone for extra bases. Kind of an all or nothing swing out of the right side for the Redhawks. Moyle almost had him on the breaking ball. 3 2-strike pitches fouled off by Boysenall in this at-bat. And there's strikeout number 5 for Moyle out of the bullpen. Throw down to first on the pitch in the turf, and the Cougars go through the top of the 7th with a 4-run lead. Time to stretch in Pullman. 9-5 Cougs on Pac-12 Plus. 4-run Cougar lead at Bailey Brayton Field. Just past the stretch on a sunny night in Pullman. Sunny but cool. And we'll have the final game of the set tomorrow. Redhawks and Cougars for 12:05 first pitch. Washington State will get to see Will Sierra, the right-hander with some gas, against Morgan White, a pair of juniors on the hill tomorrow for Game 3 of the series. It should be a good one. Again, that's at 12:05 first pitch. You can join us for the broadcast starting at noon. Trevor Williams, Bobby Allworth, our Pac-12 Plus crew. Happy to be with you this weekend.
A new hitter for the Cougars, a pinch hitter, Jacob McKeon, coming off the bench to hit for Gianni Tomasi in the center field spot. Jacob McKeon, a big bat, 6'5", junior college prospect of out of Central Arizona College in Arizona, and helped his junior college. He was teammates with Jake Meyer down there a couple years ago. And helped Central Arizona win a junior college national championship. But big right-handed power, and looking for a bat. It's a crowded outfield right now, but big right-handed bat for the Cougs. See if he can get a swing.
This is his 7th at-bat of the season. Take strike 2. Tomasi in his 3 at-bats today worked a walk. Was 0 for 2 otherwise. Chance for the Cougars to get a look here in the bottom of the 7th with a 4-run lead. Bryce Moyle in the Cougar bullpen earned himself an opportunity to grab a victory today. He's tossed 5 strikeouts in relief behind a tough first 4 innings for the Cougars, but he's posted 3 straight scoreless for WSU. In the meantime, his offense scored 6 to grab him a lead. McKeon's WSU debut was a pinch hit single. Scored a run in Game 1 of the doubleheader at UC Davis the end of the month of February. Take strike 3 here. Didn't like it much, but Alex Mcbee dials up the punch out to start the Cougars' 7th.
Second baseman number 43, Preston Clifford.
Bring up Preston Clifford. Clifford hit by a pitch, and he's 0 for 2. Sorry, looking on the wrong part of the card. Walked, and he's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Next offering for Mcbee. That crosses at the knees. Ball and a strike. Clifford skies one. Foul ground. Right field side. Wind's pushing it to the bullpen, and it will land against the fence.
For the next inning and a half, it's going to be really tough. We mentioned it a while ago, but going to keep being tough on these hitters. Pitchers in the sun, still the shade. Home plate's in the shade, so pitcher in the sun, the ball's, you see it coming out of his hand, and then it'll jump on you. So tough couple of innings coming for these for hitters or both teams.
And Matt Boyson out the right fielder, and the right side of the infield shading their eyes. Grounder goes to short. Instead, it's under the glove of O'Brien charging, and Clifford's aboard. O'Brien tried to sidestep it on the charge, a second error against Seattle U. And Clifford's aboard with an out for the Cougars.
I know we've harped on it a couple times, but that's Preston Clifford competing. That's putting the ball in play. That's a two-strike approach, and I'm going to cover this. His toughest pitch, I'm going to put it in play hard on the ground. And Clifford went a decent speed out of the 9-hole, a little bit of pressure on the shortstop, and there you go. Runner on first with one out.
It was a situation where, O'Brien had nothing to do. He had to charge, couldn't wait.
Right.
And that's why you get balls in play. Just like you said, make it a little tough on the defense and force guys to make great plays. Gunnar Goldsmith here for a second time. He singled off the bench in relief of Cody Colden. Bunts out in front of the plate this time, and it hops foul. Almost touched by the catcher, Grant Heiser.
Yeah, wise decision by Heisner. That would have been a tough play. Goldsmith running well out of the box. Clifford was for sure safe at second base, and that was bunt for a hit. That was going to be some trouble for the Red Hawk defense, but nice play by Heiser. Good decision. Let it roll foul.
Goldsmith came in last inning after Cody Colden tried to show a bunt, and it ricocheted off his bat, caught him probably somewhere above the shoulders. It took Colden out of the ballgame. We'll hope he's okay, but Goldsmith delivered off the bench in an 0-2 count, fought it back full, then got a single. It was exactly what the Cougars needed to see from Goldsmith. Cougs cashed in later, 2 RBI single for Justin Vanderbrake to blow this game open a little bit. That hits Goldsmith. Has to wear it on the left side, and we mentioned this team been hit by pitches plenty of times coming into the week, 6th in the NCAA. First and second, Kyle Manzardo. All the pressure's gone from the hitting streak. His double in the 6th was good for a couple runs, as well as his 27th consecutive game with a hit.
Another big opportunity for the All-American, but nice at-bats by Preston Clifford and Garrett Goldsmith, forcing pressure on the Red Hawks. And the result is 2 Cougs on base.
Breaking pitch almost caught Manzardo. Manzardo picking up the RBI in his last at-bat, is up to 18 on the season. There's a bounce. 2-0 the count to Manzardo. Scored on his last 2 times aboard, walked twice in this ball game, and has doubled. Hitting .439, slugging .902. 636 with runners in scoring position, by the way. You can pick a stat for Kyle Manzardo, and it jumps off the page. Homered last night, gave the Cougs the lead they would need, and WSU expanded it. By the way, 4 straight opposite field homers for Manzardo. This time nails it through the right side. Another run he's going to drive in this ball game. Cougars up to a 10-5 lead on Manzardo's second hit.
Another pretty swing by Carl Manzardo. Knew he was going to get a pitch to hit, stayed on it, pulled it right through the right side. A big hole on the right side. Nice piece of hitting. Drives in another run, 10-5, runners on the corners. Let's see if we can get Tristan Peterson a big swing, get him going again.
He's been hit by a pitch, he's walked, scored both times he got aboard. Had a fly out with the bases loaded in the second to right field that kind of died with the wind pushing it, and then a fly out to left as well. But corner runners in this spot. And the Cougars with their 10th run right back at what they had averaged in the first 2 series of the season offensively. Tomorrow they'll want to combine forces, get the pitching like it was game 1 and the bats like they've been humming game 2. But still a bit to go in this ball game, staring a chance to match the 2008 club with series wins in each of their first 3 series. Check on first. Bit risky in the sunshine with a guy at third to put your first baseman in a spot like that, but Mcbee trying to limit some men in scoring position. There's Peterson launching into one. That's a gap shot for the Cougs. Another run home for Washington State. An RBI double for Tristan Peterson. Make it 11-5 Cougars.
Yeah, just what the power-handed right-handed hitter and Tristan Peterson needed. Again, he was ready for a pitch to hit. Runners on the corners. He knew he was going to get something. Centered it up, pulled into left center for a RBI double. Good to get him going.
Sees another across the plate for Washington State. 8 runs in the last 3 innings after falling behind 5-3. Strike 1 to Colin Montez. Highlighted the top 4 of the order coming in, and boy, they've delivered. Cody Colden, before he was out, had a 2 RBI single, couple hits for Manzardo, a hit, a couple runs, 3 times on base for Peterson, and now Colin Montez wants to join the party. It's a high fly ball to right field. Wynn going to hold it up for Boysenall to make the catch, and all the runners have to stay put.
Yeah, nice play by Boysenall. Big swing by Montez, loud contact. It sounded like it was going to be a no-doubter sac fly to right field, decently deep, but no, he came sprinting in. Always, sometimes you see guys overrun that, but nice play by Boysenall. Get the out, make the catch on the run, and record the second out.
Going to see Donnie Harrell make a change in this spot. Wants to go get a right-hander to face Justin Vanderbrake. Vanderbrake said 3 runs driven in and a big 2 RBI single in the 4-run Cougars 6th. He'll be at the plate when we return. We'll tell you about the new Seattle U arm as well next. New pitcher for the Redhawks is right-hander Brady Little. The freshman from Issaquah will face right-handed bat Justin Vanderbrake. Cougs have broken the ball game open in the middle third of this game 2. 2-run 5th, 4-run 6th, 2-run 7th, and now a comfortable 6-run lead for the hometown Cougars. 8-1 to start the season. Seattle U's 4-4 and split a series a weekend ago against the Oregon Ducks. By the way, Oregon took care of number 15 UC Santa Barbara last night. So Vanderbrake will stand in with 3 hits tonight. So Little complete his warm-up tosses, and Vanderbrake's 2 RBI single is a big one in the 6th to add some insurance to this Cougar lead. Takes the first pitch off the zone. Outside to Vanderbrake, 2 balls, no strikes. Just the series that Justin was looking for. 2 hits yesterday, 3 hits today, and it's 3 multi-hit games in a row for the Cougar outfielder. Up the middle, it's off the shoe of the pitcher, Little. Picked up as short by O'Brien. And yeah, that reaction said it all. Should have been another run for the Cougars, but an assist to the Nike for Brady Little as it goes 1-6-3 to end the 7th. Cougs add a couple, and it's 11-5 going to the 8th. 11-5 Cougar lead. One change defensively for the Cougars. Nate Swartz takes over in center field in the spot of Jacob McKeon, who pinch hit for Gianni Tomasi in the 7th. And then a new pitcher for Washington State as well, Colby Kmetko, right-hander, taking over in the top of the 8th. A little dicey early for the Cougars, but the offense has kicked it into high gear, and you can thank Bryce Moyle for a really solid outing out of the bullpen. He's in line to be the winning pitcher for the Cougars. And Bobby, those are big innings.
Yeah, and that's what we were expecting out of Bryce Moyle. That's what we've seen the last season and a half out of the senior left-hander out of Nevada. 2 2/3 scoreless, 5 strikeouts, no hits. Filled up the strike zone, a left-hander. He bought some time, shut the door, took the momentum back for the Cougars, and then the Cougar offense took over. And now we get to see Colby Kmetko, a freshman right-hander that I think Coug fans are going to like to see. He's making his 4th appearance of the season, appeared twice in that opening weekend at UC Davis and threw 2 innings at Dixie State last weekend. So right-hander that fills up the strike zone and making his home debut, Colby Kmetko.
So here he goes with his first delivery. Picked that delivery already and passes one by Drake Meningo for strike 1. I mentioned just the 3 hits, 1 run allowed so far in the 3 1/3 release. That's right back up the middle by actually a new batter for Seattle U. That was Derek Gelos.
Batting the catcher, number 7, Grant Heiser.
So Gelos, a pinch hitter in the 8th, batting in Meningo's spot, gets the single. And Grant Heiser, the catcher, now will come to the dish.
I know he just gave up that leadoff single, but a lot of praise, a lot of excitement out of this freshman right-hander out of Phoenix, Arizona, Pinnacle High School, Colby Kmetko, a very athletic family. I mean, as you check out his bio, his dad Steve played baseball at Western New Mexico. His mom ran track at Iowa. His older brother Tyler played at Utah. And his sister Madison, I believe, just finished up playing at Arizona State, playing soccer at Arizona State. So very athletic family, a Pac-12 family, and another big arm out of the state of Arizona coming up north to throw strikes for the Cougs.
2 balls, no strikes to Heiser. Yep, we saw Madison come through Pullman a couple times in her career with the Sun Devils in soccer. And We will plug that if everything's okay, the Cougars are on a COVID pause this weekend with soccer, but we should be back to action next weekend for Cougars soccer in Pullman, and they'll get to move outside next weekend. 2-1 Grant Heiser at the plate. He struck out twice, did reach base on one on a drop third strike. Was part of a 3-run fourth inning for the Redhawks, and they jumped to a 5-3 lead after falling in an early hole. Heiser went around to even the count.
What do you think of the quick delivery? Your first time seeing Colby Komet go.
I like it, and I like the subtlety of the leg kick too. There's a lot to like.
Right, just a little bit different. Gets on you quick.
Really slings it and gets a skied pop-up on the left side of the infield. It'll be between Smith and Goldsmith, and it ends up being Smith calling for it.
Left fielder, number 34, Kyle.
Yeah, it looks good, and he's done a nice job with 5 strikeouts so far in his appearances this season. Just the 1 run, as we mentioned, for Kometko. So great opportunity here in the presumably potentially the 8th and the 9th inning for Kometko, although there is a left-hander warming up for the Cougars. That's Newstrom, who we saw last night. A swing and a miss for Kyle Sherrick, the left fielder.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about yesterday's game, and Zane Mills is working 8 innings. But the Cougar bullpen has some questions, just a lot of new faces. You know, that's what happens last year. You only get to play 16 games. A lot of roles aren't solidified. We knew Owen Leonard would be in the back end of the bullpen, but we're still week 3, looking for some situations. The Cougar offense took care of the first 2 weekends. But this is one of those young arms vying to be a big piece of that Cougar bullpen. You know, as we get closer to Pac-12 play, this is his audition. Excited to see.
Here's his 0-2. Good audition so far. Got the strikeout. Yeah, that's strikeout number 6 on the season for Kometko's first at home. And just like that, after a single, pair put down and chance to get out of the 8th. That's the trick in college baseball, is people don't realize with the scholarship numbers and things, it really comes down to who can put together bullpens. And a lot of times they're pieced together groups, but they're so pivotal.
Right. What happens when your Saturday starter in Brandon White, someone you're expecting 6 or 7 innings, is limited to 3? You know, now you got to piece together. Now Bryce Moyle, and you don't want to burn Bryce Moyle out so that maybe he can come back and steal you another inning on Sunday. But who's going to finish it for you? Who can shut the door? But also, let's see him in some different situations. Let's see him where he's facing against the top of the lineup and the leadoff hitter in Gavin Rourke. How does he handle this situation? A guy with speed and a guy that's been a pest for the first 2 games.
And there's some good finishers to look up to of late at Washington State. Think guys like Ian Hamilton, Scotty Sunich. There's the block behind the dish by Meyer. That's a spot that, those are guys that Kometko can aspire to be like and to follow in their footsteps and continue to shore up this bullpen. Fresh off a strikeout, looking for one more against Seattle U's toughest hitter. Got Rourke off the end of the bat. Charging play for Smith, bare hand, but Rourke's got plenty of speed to first.
And right on cue, and 2 strikes, but 2 strikes on him, but the leadoff man in great speed puts the ball on ground, beats out the slow roller. Nice play by Jack Smith, but the speed by Rourke too much. Seattle U with first and second and 2 outs.
Like to take a little bite out of this disadvantage. See if you can get it back into a situation where you string a couple things together, and who knows. Connor O'Brien will have the duty against Kometko, and he takes strike 1. Colby's thrown a lot of strikes out of the bullpen. 12 of his 15 pitches have found the zone. That last single for the Redhawks, their 7th hit of the ball game. There's the 8th hit of the ball game. Going to play to run into left center for O'Brien. Rourke all the way around to third, and coming to score from second, Drake Meningo. So big 2-out hitting there for Connor O'Brien.
Yeah, these first 2 hitters of Seattle U towards the end of last night and then throughout today have been pretty tough on Cougar pitching. And they stay right there. Keep things interesting. 2 runners on with the heart of the order coming up.
We'll see pitching coach Anthony Claggett come out. Talk to the youngster here. We mentioned the bullpen is also ready for the Cougars. And they are going to turn to Michael Newstrom just to make sure things don't spiral here in the 8th. 5-run Cougar lead, corner runners, and 2 outs. Newstrom coming in after this. Michael Newstrom for the Cougars finishing his warm-up tosses, and seen plenty of them this year. 7 appearances for Newstrom as he enters the ball game here in the 8th. 2 outs, corner runners. And a situational play for the Cougars against left-handed hitting DH Justin Mazzone. So Colby Kmetko got a couple outs, a strikeout, but 3 singles against him as well in this 8th inning, and it's led to 1 Seattle U run. Newstrom's 1-0. Finds the outside half.
And how soon the Cougs and pitching coach Anthony Claggett have turned to Michael Newstrom the early part of this year, making his 7th appearance in 10 games. But the left-hander does one thing that the Cougs like. He's throwing strikes.
Something we saw Bryce Moyle do as well in great relief today. Ball 2 strikes to Mazzone, and Moyle in line for the victory. 2 2/3 relief. No hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts and 46 pitches. In a great outing for Bryce Moyle. The offense did great things as well in this game, but I think you really got to give Moyle a look at kind of the player who turned things today for the Cougars. Runner in motion at first. Mazzone fouls it off his foot.
Yeah, that was a huge moment in this game and in this series. And you know, Seattle U was rallying. They held the lead.
Yep, 5-3.
And with some runners on base, the Cougs were looking for somebody to come in and shut the door and to clean things up, and that was Bryce. Yeah, I've seen a lot of things in my 4 years here. So he stepped in and jumped in, was ready for any situation. So he'd seen a lot of situations, was ready to step in and get the job done, get some outs.
Ground ball finds the hole left side from his own. Another Seattle U run, and the Redhawks putting together a nice 2-out rally here in the 8th.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting. The shift was on against the big power hitting left-hander, and he pokes one the other way with 2 strikes. Nice piece of hitting by Mazzone.
It's 3 straight 2-out hits for Seattle U. They get a 4-run ball game, 11-7 now. And this starts to get to that point where you've got a good hitter here in Julian Kodama, who, if he can find a gap, all of a sudden you start to believe if you're the Redhawks in that dugout. But Kodama, first pitch swinging, will pop it up to Clifford. He makes the catch. The damage limited to 2 runs in the Seattle U 8th. 3 straight 2-out singles to get that done for the Redhawks. And the Cougars hold a 4-run lead back to the plate next on Pac-12 Plus. Nice look at the indoor training facility, sun-kissed on this Saturday night in Pullman. 4-run Cougar lead. Justin Perisano comes out of the bullpen for Seattle U. Cougars have Jake Meyer at the plate. Redhawks played it a couple runs, top of the 8th to get a bit closer. There's a new catcher for the Redhawks as well. That's Andrew Haight. Freshman getting a chance to work with Perisado, who's a junior from Spokane. Line drive up the middle for Meyer, and there's hit number 4 in the ball game for Jake. Great night at the plate. Plenty of hits for the Cougars, 13 to go around, 11 runs. WSU's limited the strikeouts, and a lot to be happy about at the plate for Brian Green. Wanting his guys to come up with an answer after last night. Felt like they left some meat on the bone. The foul tip's caught by the new catcher, Haight. Game 3 tomorrow at noon. Redhawks still want to make a late rally after 2 in the top half. 1-1 to Jack Smith. Smith towards first, trying to hold on the runner, Meningo. He can't get to the ball. Single for Smith. Over to third goes Meyer. And good hitting to start the 8th for the Cougars. Pair of singles, and it's corner runners just like that. Second hit of the ball game for Jack Smith. Cougars have seen production out of every spot in the lineup except for these 8 and 9 spots in terms of hits, but everybody's reached base 1 through 9. Nate Swartz, who took over in center field, to get a plate appearance now. For Swartz's 6th at-bat of the season, has 1 hit so far. Drives to right field, wasting no time, and parks it in between the foul line and the right fielder, Boysenald. 1 scores for the Cougars, and second and third on the double for Swartz. 3 straight hits in the bottom of the 8th, and the Cougars are cooking with gas here in the late innings.
Well, the big answer for the bottom half of this Cougar lineup, they're helping out that bullpen. Pair of singles by Jake Meyer and Jack Smith, and then the sophomore Nate Swartz steps in and hasn't been getting a lot of bats, but that's how you get some more. RBI double to right field, so nice job by the sophomore outfielder.
Preston Clifford now, who's reached base twice but still looking for his first hit with the infield in. He fouls off the first pitch. WSU with at least a run in each of the 5th, 6th, 7th, and now 8th innings, and they could make it 4 straight multi-run innings if Clifford can deliver. Does just that to right field. This has some carry to the gap. Boysenald will make the catch. Runner tagging from third, no problems, Jack Smith. And from second to third goes Nate Swartz, and it's 13-7 Cougs. Couple sacrifices in the ball game for Preston Clifford. He's done a nice job in his spot in the order, being productive. Another couple runs for the Cougs. Stretch this right back out to hopefully have a easy 9th inning if you're Brian Green, Cougar staff. It brings up a dangerous part of the order, top of the order. Gunnar Gouldsmith, who took over for Cody Colden, who was injured back in the 6th inning. Gouldsmith has made the most of his opportunities. Single, a hit by pitch, and has scored twice. How about another hit for Gouldsmith off the glove of Lively into center field? That'll play to run. 14-7 Cougs, and Gouldsmith his second hit in relief of Colden. Cougar bats not going quietly late in this ball game. Put it together nicely, and Kyle Manzardo will step up. He's got back-to-back hits, a double, scored a run, another RBI single. Now man on first with a 7-run Cougar lead. Manzardo up the middle. Shift was there for it. A toe on the bag at second and a throw to first, all unassisted from O'Brien. And that double play ends the 8th inning for the Cougars. Score at 6-3, 3 runs home for the Cougars in the frame on a total of 4 hits, and it's now a 7-run comfortable lead into the 9th to close it off next. Beautiful evening in Pullman, just a couple weeks away from the official start of spring. Cougars feeling good, 3 outs away from their first 3 consecutive series wins since 2008. And the series will camp tomorrow, so you get a reminder that 12:05 is the first pitch. You can catch the coverage starting at noon here on Pac-12 Plus. New arm for the Cougars, right-hander Connor Barrison. And he'll look to put it away in the 9th after the Cougars added 3 more in their home half of the 8th. What a job Brian Green's done. This he's hoping will be his first full season in Pullman. Had the shortened year last year and has a chance to have the Cougars to 9-1, which would match the best start since 2010. Barrison to face Austin Lively first. I should say Mason Hoover, who entered the ballgame for Lively, and he takes strike 1. Expect to see some good things from Barrison here in the 9th inning. Low pressure inning. Cougars want to see him roll through the Red Hawk order. And he gets Hoover to chase it. Barrison's got some nice stuff. He's already worked in 3 games this year, and this is his 4th. 4th strikeout of the season as well for Barrison. 3 pitches to dispatch Mason Hoover, and that's how the 9th starts for the Cougars on the mound. Love to see that out of the bullpen. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and see you later.
Yeah, ever since Barrison's arrived a couple years ago, his junior right-hander has had nasty stuff so much that some of the catchers can't even catch it in the bullpen. So still work on that command, but I think he turned a corner last year in the shortened season and was about to break out before things got shut down. But big-time stuff. Just needs some more game experience and good start to the 9th for him.
Matt Boysenall able to take on the first pitch from Barrison. Had some big performances last year in the short season. Those 5 scoreless no-hit innings and 7 strikeouts at Hawaii last February really stand out. Another one of those pieces in this bullpen that could come together nicely for the Cougars. A good fastball past Boysenall. Tomorrow, Bobby, I know you and I talked about it before the series, but it's going to be exciting as well to see another arm in Will Sierra for the Cougars getting the start and what he might be able to do.
Yeah, a power right-hander, a junior college transfer that has some velo, has some velocity that the Coug fans will like once they're able to come see. But get a first home look at Will Sierra. You also see Dakota Hawkins, right-hander, a junior college prospect out of Washington that you'll probably see him a little bit, but he started the first couple weekends. Now he'll be a starter. And Connor Barrison with the 2nd strikeout looking good.
Yeah, that's great out of the bullpen. Pair of punch-outs for Barrison. Sierra part of that number 5 ranked JUCO class that the Cougars brought in. Hoping to make some big noise. They have a non-conference play, and it's all ramping up to conference action. Strike 1 to Derek Gellos. Some non-conference games coming up against the Huskies next week at Husky Ballpark, along with another couple against Seattle U. That's going to be a good barometer next weekend for the Cougars to see where they're at against another Pac-12 team. And Oregon State looms on the horizon, not far away, some conference action. That'll start in Corvallis for the Cougars. Been to Goss Stadium many times, and we've talked about this weekend what a big deal the new $10 million complex for the Cougars down the left field line, the back to Omaha operations building is. But, you know, that puts you at that competitive level with these great programs in the Pac-12. Connor Barrison has eyes on maybe striking out the side for a Cougar victory. Barrison ready. Wanted it and just missed on the corner. That's usually ones the umpires love to give you. I'll have to try once again. 3-2. Barrison just missed. Two straight pitches that were right on the verge of being strike three. But a walk for Derek Gellos will bring up Grant Heiser, the catcher. Actually, we'll have a change. We had a change last inning. Andrew Haight, the catcher, taking over for Grant Heiser. So Haight bats now. And he takes strike one. 16 hits, 14 runs for the Cougars. And calmed down after surrendering 5 in the third and fourth innings combined. On the ground, foul third base line. Still a chance for Peterson to post the 3 strikeouts here in the 9th inning. All Cougars in the late innings. Final 5 of this one, outscoring Seattle U 11-2. Barrison punches him out, 3 Ks in the 9th, and the Cougars have their first 3 series wins since 2008. As Washington State gets it done for a 2-0 series lead and a chance for a sweep tomorrow at Bailey Brayton Field. Connor Barrison fanning 3 in relief, and the Cougars pick up another win. 9-1 also ties the best start since 2010 for this anthracite-clad bunch here on this Saturday night in Pullman.